What is a ray of light without the shadow it creates? What is the darkness without desire for flame? What is a warrior without a worthy foe? What would you like to do? It's time to roll. When the lines between good and evil are blurred, no one knows if there is Dune or Paler came first. An ancient struggle throughout all time to push against the other keeps both upright. Is the coming chaos worth the peace? Is it all just a puzzle to complete? A one-sided coin can't exist, isn't real, and thus goes the tales of Ethyl. Thus goes the tales of Ethyl.
Cams, boom, boom. All right.
Oh.
I think we're up. I think we're good to go. I was definitely first, but playing ranked on Overwatch. Hi, Rye. And you weren't first. Chick was here first. She was here before I even started streaming. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. We're doing episode 22 of Tales of Ethyl today. It's going to be a great day. Boom, roasted. Okay. So, everyone that's in there, I did say something about on Twitter and on in the Discord. Oh, Josh with 100 biddies. Thank you, Josh. But, yeah, I put in the Discord and on Twitter that I've got a bit of an announcement today. So I just want to, before I get into my announcement, I just want to say out to you guys, thank you guys for playing with me. And thank you guys for coming to watch. This has been a hell of a lot of fun. I'm not stopping the stream, but this is also a fair warning. Goddamn, a hype train already? Jesus, guys. Okay. Rizard with 5 gifted. Thank you very much. But a few things that have been going on that I'm very excited about and I'm very stoked about. During the summer and possibly during the fall, there will be longer breaks in between our episodes, unfortunately. First off, in the summer, around June, I'm going to be trying to move. That's one exciting thing. I'll be trying to change states. That's one exciting thing. And then during the fall, the reason that we're going to be taking breaks is Mrs. Karma is indeed pregnant.
Guess that shit.
You fucking called it.
We're gonna have a little baby Karma that's gonna be coming into the world. We've already found out it is going to be a little boy. Yeah, and we're very excited about this. If for you guys know, be excited. His name is Escanor because we're badasses, and that's a badass name.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's a good ass name.
Yes.
Buddy. Look at little Escanor running around.
Yeah,
oh my god!
Because that's a boss. No kid's gonna get fucked with if their name's Escanor. That's the motherfucker that beat. That's the motherfucker that runs that shit. But yeah,
it's either gonna be shortened to Eska or Nor.
Yeah,
you know that, right?
He's gonna have the deepest voice in the first.
Yeah,
he's in first grade.
Yeah.
Miss Smith, I finished my math homework.
Seb, who decided that? Interestingly enough, Mrs. Karma decided that name because she's a badass, and Seb gets the reference, I think, too. So appreciate that. Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I was super excited, and I also wanted to give you guys fair warning. When I'm moving and when he's around, there will be bigger spaces in between episodes and stuff, which is also why I stopped streaming during the week as much, because I'm going to be working overtime trying to get a little extra cash for little Escanor and for our family home. But once everything settles down, don't worry, there will be cameos by little Escanor. He's going to be my little gamer buddy. But
I was going to fucking say, yeah. I want pictures.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Oh, actually,
yes,
that even reminds me. What's that?
Oh.
Best thing. I'm like 110% invested.
Okay.
Oh, me too, dude.
Karma?
Yeah?
As the bestie, can I have the address to send Mrs. Karma some baby stuffs?
I will. You should have it. You've bought me food before.
I have this address, yes. But
yeah. The new one, yes. So, yeah. There he is. Little Escanor. Yep.
I'm excited that I call it. Okay? Like,
Yeah, I'm very excited. We're both very excited. It's going to be fantastic. But yeah, I thought you guys would get a kick out of that, and I wanted to do it on Tales to really, show the community, because this is where you guys all show the most love, and I wanted to get you guys a part of something special that's going on for me. So yeah, that's what's going on in the Karma life, and yeah. So this is why I said that you guys should get your shots ready. This one's for Escanor and for the campaign, and I love you guys very much, and thank you for joining me and being a part of this moment with me.
I've got a little bit of cola gin left.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zephy, this one's worth it.
This one's worth the shot.
I want you to know, Carla, this is the last drink I'm having this year.
Well, I appreciate you sharing this with me, and yeah, thank you guys so much for being a part of this with me. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to you, Eska.
It's orange. Oh, it's orange.
Good stuff.
It's orange. I hate it, but I
Oh
love
goodness.
It. Okay.
Oh gosh, that was so good.
Well,
Oh, and also be excited, because this is going to be on the internet forever. So there is probably a good chance he's going to end up going through Tales with us. Because yeah.
Hey.
Oh my god.
Thanks for the lurk, Karma. Thanks for the lurk, Rye. I appreciate you, buddy.
Karma.
What?
Escanor escaped the plane of Tales of Ethyl to join your plane.
He did.
Aww.
He did.
Mistrix is also out there somewhere.
Do you guys want to know something funny?
What?
That's why there's a character named Escanor in this campaign.
Really? Oh my god.
And you killed him?
Yeah. I literally did it as just a little Easter egg for my real life. That's it.
Escanor, I know this is like 15 years too late, but if you want to send me your details, I'll get the adoption papers sorted out for you, buddy. Like 15 years from now, I got you.
Me, Death Dragon, and Josh will all raise you. We're all old now.
Josh, we're gonna show you all the hot babes. We're gonna show you how to party.
You know what they say. It takes a village to raise an Escanor.
Wait. Are we the God family?
Every day,
Hooters,
we got you.
100%.
Oh my god. Look.
So, real quick, Escanor, if you're watching this in the future, Dad loves you very much, and this is the moment that I shared you with the rest of my family. So
we all love you. You do, we're so proud of you, Dad, buddy.
We love you so much.
If you do need help, just text one of us, Marco. We'll be there.
They'll come up with a code word to come save you from me. Don't worry.
We're gonna have to get our own room for him in the office space.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yes.
I'll teach him how to edit.
Oh, I will teach him how to draw. He'll be an artist like me.
I'll make sure he's a power gamer.
Min-maxing.
We'll break everybody's heart. He'll play the lute when he's like 6.
Yeah.
He is gonna learn how to play guitar. That's for sure.
He's gonna learn Mistrix's songs. Oh no.
No.
Yeah, super proud of you, Karma. Give our love to the missus.
I will, for sure. But on that happy note, I think it's time for us to get into our normally scheduled program. Thank you for taking that little detour with me, guys. But we are here for also episode 22 of Tales of Ethyl. So let's start with our introductions. In the bottom left, we have Silus.
Hi, I'm CJ. I play Silus. I can officially say now, Karma is the reason I drink.
Right next to him, we've got Kazim.
I'm Josh. I'm taking notes for the first time.
Wow.
Welcome to the club, buddy.
I fly by the seat of my pants, bitch.
Right next to him, we've got Iahme.
Hi guys, I'm Dyer. I play Iahme, and today I'm feeling not so violent.
And last but not least, we have got Nico.
Hey, my name is Dragon, and I will say back my favorite quote from the entirety of Tales of Ethyl. I'm a lover, I'm not a fighter. And I hope that this episode is going to show that.
Okay, this is the part where we put the kill number up.
Check the scoreboard. Check the scoreboard.
I will legitimately go back and count all these.
Where that wood is, like up in my upper right corner, I should just put Nico's kill count. Like as soon as every time he says I'm a lover, not a fighter, just put kill count.
I will go back through all of them and I will count them.
100%, and I will.
I'm working on it.
Let's figure that out. I will legitimately put it up in the upper where that wood is, and I will update it live as we go.
I'm going to the episode right now. I'll let you.
Chick Escanor.
Yeah, yes, chick. Yeah. It's Escanor. Oh yeah, a little ding sound, just a little thing that pops up and goes, kill.
The little CinemaSins thing.
Yeah. So, and I am Uppercase Karma. I'm your DM. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm just here for a good time. So, let's get into our tales of magic and wonder here that we call the Tales of Ethyl. Let's see, last we left off, we had finally made our way to River's Run, and as we were spending a little bit the beginning of our downtime as a group, kind of doing our own things, Silus was dropping off the loot in the water wheel and getting Tasha up to speed, while Iahme was also there hanging out with them, essentially, getting her bearings, trying to figure out, also trying to get some understandings of things going through, getting through what's going on in her head, or what's possibly going on in the background, while Kazim and Dragon had dropped off the doppelganger blood, which was essentially their whole weird side quest that they were trying to do to figure out what that was going to do, while Kazim was going to Nathan and the Flow to try and get some form of home, which he did. Fantastic. We left Silus and Iahme in the bar as they were trying to essentially just hang out, get some calm back in their lives. So we'll start with you two. Iahme and Silus, what would you like to do?
Well, I know Iahme is currently in the library researching things because she had the interaction with that librarian. So.
Right. And Silus, I think you went with her, didn't you?
So I went looking for her after the meeting, so...
Okay.
Assuming I eventually find her.
You guys, I would say that you guys both made it downstairs. Iahme, you did get that interaction with the librarian. He brought you a couple books because you were looking into the names in which Draxto had given you. He explains to you that there's not much on the name Vecna that you gave him. It's not very well known. He didn't know much about Elderfall, but he did manage to find one book that mentioned both Elderfall and the name Ventus. It seemed to be this description of a prince of Elderfall just prior to the downfall of it. It tells the story of... There's not much about it other than they know that there was this magical kingdom that seemed to be the pinnacle of peace in the land, but something tragic had happened. It doesn't go into much detail about what that tragic thing had happened, but the royal family had died, which threw the entire city into chaos as it burned, and acid rain seemed to come down and almost dissolve all of it, and it seemed to be gone almost overnight. Other than that, it talks about there are theories of where it could be, because it seems to be this almost myth. Like, they're not sure if it actually happened. It just seemed to be a story passed down from generation to generation. And there's no actual documentation of this place existing.
Okay.
Silus, I will say after your little bit of research that yes, you were able to kind of just walk down into the main city of into the main area of the Flow and go over towards the library, which you assumed she probably was anyway, because you knew that she was going to be doing some researching, and pretty easily just walking past the door, you're able to see her sitting at one of the tables looking at this small little tiny stack of books.
She will be fervently writing like small notes and like the book title and stuff, that way she knows where she got this shit from.
Mm-hmm. I am going to go over to you, like, enough to make myself known, but quietly so as to not disturb your reading.
Like the kind of thing?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. She'll kind of like keep her eyes on the book, but kind of like turn her head like where her ear is toward you and be like, yes, Silus.
Have your studies proven fruitful?
I learned a little bit, but not quite as much as I need. I may have to have a talk with Draxto about this, because there's not much here.
Yes, I feel a lot of history that we have learnt is either false or poorly documented.
Do they have some sort of, she's gonna say the draconic word for, like... Basically, she's asking if they have Archie. She's asking for the higher up. And she's like, The highest being over this area.
You would be looking for the Archmage, Archmage Greymore.
Hmm.
I believe he was just recently, Karma, correct me if I'm wrong, like given a task by Nathan.
Correct.
So I fear you will not be able to catch him until at least the morning. He is working on something for us, given our discoveries.
With your there is Dune adventure, if I'm correct.
A way to put it, yes.
All right. Well, I will leave a message with the front clerk then.
And I would recommend that you join us all for dinner and introduce yourself to Nico's family.
I'm not quite sure that's the best idea.
Well, I can tell you right now that little Freya would be very interested in meeting Draxto. She's an adventurous sort herself, from what I can gather.
Fair. I
And,
guess we could have a conversation with him on the way then.
as well, if I told Cresselia that there was a fourth who we did not bring to dinner, given the fact she's already seen your face, I doubt I'd survive the evening.
Perhaps it's best if I don't get you beaten then.
That is most appreciated.
I'll wash myself up as we walk.
And I will lead the way back to Nico's dwelling.
So I'd say Kazim and Nico, while they were doing this, I believe, Nico, you were probably heading back home, weren't you, after this meeting? Because I know you went with Kazim.
I was.
So. And then
I did tell them about the dinner and that
Mhm.
They're more than welcome to join, and I was on my way back.
And Kazim, what were you doing right after this meeting ending? I believe you were talking to Nathan for a couple more minutes. I don't quite remember what though. I thought you pulled him off to the side, maybe.
No, he got escorted out.
I probably was asking for an escort to the warehouse. If I
Right.
remember correctly.
So we'll start with that.
Cool.
So as you're walking, and he brought forth this this simple guard, someone you've seen before. He didn't really talk much, as he's right this way, and he begins leading you through River's Run towards the I believe it's the current district with the fort that was there. As you start heading towards the way that you remember, towards the mortuary that was over there where you met that odd interesting kobold that was there working with the dead bodies, he takes you past it, and about 2 houses down on the same street seems to be this very large wooden building. It doesn't look well taken care of. It's not falling apart by any means, but could definitely use some updates. It's maybe about let's say 20 to 30 feet tall. It's got like 1 window at the very top, so perhaps there's a second story up there, you're not too sure. It's got these very large windows next to this double door, as the guard just kind of stands off to the side and waves to the front door, gives you a quick salute, and walks off. You were left in front of what he seems to motion as your warehouse.
I'll walk up and try the key.
Okay, so you walk up and you jiggle the key inside. You manage to get the key inside the lock and twist, and you hear that very solid click. It's not a very strong lock, but I mean, it works, as it unclicks immediately, and the door just kind of lax. It seems to be that deadbolt seemed to be the only thing that was like keeping those doors together and closed, as they just kind of list open, and you see a very large open building in front of you. It's probably about 40 feet straight down and probably about 25 feet long, so it's pretty big. And you do see there seems to be, it's not necessarily a second floor, but there does seem to be a pretty large loft up some stairs on one half of it, so it seems like a pretty big warehouse with some potential other extra storage on the second floor.
Upstairs with a partial loft?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Are there any... How do I put this? Is it possible that there's basement access?
Roll for perception for me.
First roll of the night. That's a 7. So let's see. Deception. 12.
Okay, so it takes you a minute. You're kind of looking around, and it's fucking dirty as hell there. Whatever this building used to be has been left forever. There's a couple busted barrels with nothing in it. There's a couple broken crates with nothing really in them. It's just this thick layer of dirt and dust on the floor. But as you start heading towards what seems to be a much more smoother kind of stone-ish floor, you do notice that there seems to be this door, perhaps a cellar door of something, just kind of in the ground. It seems like a small trapdoor, maybe 3 feet by 3 feet. It's not huge. You try to open it, and it's fucking heavy. Whatever the hell this door, it's heavy as shit. Roll for strength for me.
That's actually not bad. 16 after the minus 1.
So yeah, you are pulling as hard as you can, and you just barely are able to kind of crack it open. But once you get it up to that like halfway, you just kind of let it go, and it just boom, hits the ground. It seems to be this really thick, solid stone or solid wood and like metal just trap door. As you look down, you see a small, like maybe 10-12 feet tall ladder that just goes straight down into what looks like a dirt room. You're not seeing, it's real dark down there, and you don't have dark vision, do you?
I do not.
No, you can't see shit
Wait,
in there.
they don't have him?
Eric Cochran don't know. But yeah, you can't see down there, but yeah, you see that it goes down a little bit. Perhaps a cellar of some kind or something.
Shadow monster's gonna get you, Josh. The shadow monster's gonna get you.
I have light. I have the cantrip light. I'm gonna cast that on, I guess, my shield and just start walking down.
Okay, so you kind of put your hand across your shield as it begins to kind of glow very faintly and then gets brighter and brighter. And as you begin going down the ladder, you notice that it's another kind of bigger room. You'd say it's probably about 15 feet by 15 feet down there. There seems to be a couple sacks or something. Perhaps this used to be like a storage room for food or something. There's no windows. The walls are just held up by these basic wooden columns. It doesn't look like they're gonna fall apart anytime soon, but very obviously abandoned and forgotten. But yeah, you seem to have a decent sized room in the basement.
Okay, no boxes, barrels down here.
It doesn't seem.
Like
all you see is a couple emptied out like burlap sacks just in a corner. That's pretty much it.
Cool. Then I just want to get the idea of the loft as well.
Okay, so you go up the back up the ladder onto that large open space. You kind of look off to your right, and it seems about maybe 10 feet away from this door seems to be a small wooden staircase that kind of goes up. There's no guardrail, so it's sketchy as fuck. But you kind of start going up, and you hear the cracks and the creaks. You don't think it's gonna fall apart, but probably could use some updating. As you go up to this second loft, that it seems to, on one side by the front, there seems to be a catwalk that I'm trying to figure out the best way to describe this. So imagine there's the rectangle. As you go up this loft, you've got a much bigger side on this part that seems about maybe like 10 feet wide, maybe 11 or 12, but goes the entire length of the 40-foot wall, so it just goes the whole way down. And once you get to the front, there's about a 5-6 foot catwalk that goes across the front of the building and goes across to the other side. So it loops all the way around, but the majority is on one side of it.
Okay. Don't mind me. I'm just drafting this out as you're.
Now you're good. You're good.
Ooh.
Okay. No, there's not like a room up here. It's just a catwalk.
It just seems to be an open catwalk. You're seeing what could be like bedrolls that were just kind of left off on the side. You're seeing where there are some candles like along it, but essentially it's just this platform with a wooden rail that goes across the entire time. There's no walls or anything like that. It just seems like a platform up there. You can tell that this is probably where someone did sleep at some point. Like I said, there's the bedrolls. You see a broken kind of dining table that seems to be there with one chair. And there seems to be just this tattered rug just kind of up top. Whoever was here, they took everything worth anything there.
It's just a rug? Lying up on the catwalk?
It seems like they were trying to dress it up as like a room or something a little bit nicer. But obviously it's not worth anything because you could tell this place has been abandoned for a while. And if anyone did leave anything good here, you'd assume that the kind of hood rats of this area probably already stole everything of value.
I'm just gonna, for my own sanity, just walk around, do a quick detect magic, just walk the perimeter.
Okay. So you kind of start walking around. Go ahead and roll for investigation for me.
21.
So as you kind of you begin kind of walking the perimeter of both the upstairs and the downstairs, nothing magical is pinging. You do notice that the other buildings seem to be really close to this, so there's not really alleyways or back ways or anything like that. But what you do notice seems to be in one corner of the bottom floor. It seems that is this what used to be stone wall, if not it still is, kind of brick-ish wall. And with your investigation, even with the detect magic, you're not really picking up anything, but you do notice that one of the bricks seems to be kind of loose. You pull it forward and you kind of look back there. It looks like it could be some kind of hidey hole. There's nothing in there now, though. Unfortunately, it seems to be empty, but there does seem to be a small little hidey hole that perhaps someone did leave something there. Nothing really of note other than that, though.
Okay. I'm just marking down all the important information. I'll show you my very rudimentary drawing later to make sure I got it right.
Yeah, I'll make a map on Incarnate at some point too, so we can get an actual look at it.
Yeah, I'm already running through plans to renovate this place and how I'm gonna make Archie pay for it. So I'm gonna. I think I'll head to dinner.
Okay. So as you're heading out towards that way, I will say, Nico, you left that meeting and you're seeing Josh, or sorry, Josh, fuck. You're seeing Kazim being taken down to the other side as you are walking.
Seeing ghosts confirmed.
You see Kazim being taken off to the other side, escorted by a guard, and you pay no attention to it as you're walking down the familiar streets of Rivers Run, where you're seeing the cobblestone has been swept as normal. There's not a lot of people out as it seems to be getting darker and darker as night continues to go forward. You go across the market and you see that they're all breaking down a bunch of their stalls and stuff, that the shopping day is done for now. And as you continue walking through the river's bed, you walk past the water wheel, hearing the commotion going on in there as more and more people seem to be showing up to end their nights. You pay no attention to that as you continue to walk past that into the more farm-oriented part of Rivers Run. As you walk out on the dirt path that you've walked 100 times with Freya, as you begin walking towards that house that has given you warmth and comfort for that amount of time that you were beforehand, as you hear some clashing and clanging of what seems to be pots and pans going on the inside, and you're hearing that familiar voice of Cresselia yelling, "Freya, I need you to sit down," as you're hearing Nicholas inside just be like, oh, okay, yep, okay. Obviously something's going on in there as you walk up your dirt path towards the door, and you almost hesitate as you go to knock on that door, kind of worried that what they'll think when they see you, but then that excitement wells up. Do you knock on the door?
And before I knock on the door, I'm going to hold my necklace, like think to myself, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be fine. I'm going to like wipe away a tear from my eye, and I will just like quickly like do a double tap on the door, and I will take a step back.
Okay. So as you just kind of that quick knock knock, you hear the stools that are usually in front of the counter that Cresselia works on kind of push back, and you hear Nicholas go, I got it, relax, as you hear those large thuds of his footsteps walking towards the door, and you hear it crack open. You see that tall, large man standing in front of you as he goes, "Oh, thank goodness. Get in here." As he's motioning you to come in, and as the second you cross that threshold, you just hear this, "Nico!" no! And you look across the living room and you just see that tiny ball of fury running across and just tries to attack you. Make a strength save.
That's not gonna... 9-year-old is gonna knock me apart.
Nico's about to break his spine.
5 total.
Yeah. In a matter of an instant, you get tackled to the ground by this little girl. She's hugging you and she goes, Nico, 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 Nico. And you hear Cresselia go, Freya, come on, get it. And she's trying her hardest to get this. She is latched onto you.
I am hugging her. I am hugging her to like with all my like noodly arms that are.
Yeah, she is like straight like koala hugging you, wrapping her legs around. Like she is holding onto you for dear life. So excited that you're home. As Cresselia is finally able to kind of get her off, and Nico or Freya, you need to give him a second, okay? I know you're excited. Relax. Let him get up, okay? And she holds out a hand to help you up, Nico.
I take it graciously, kind of dust myself off.
As soon as you stand up, as soon as you stand up, Cresselia comes in with a big old hug and he goes, "It's about time. I was worried we were going to have to try and put her to bed before you guys got here, but are you okay? Did everything go okay? Are you safe? Is everyone? Did it go okay?"
It's been a lot. It's been a whole lot, and I promise I will tell you all about it. It's just been so much, and I'm so happy to be back home with you guys.
Yeah, we heard a lot has happened with you guys. Your friend has been stopping by and giving us updates, so it's.
I've heard. He knows I appreciate it.
Yeah,
and
we're just glad that you were safe and that you're here. And thank God you showed up, because when Nicholas knew what was going to happen if you guys didn't show up tonight. So thank goodness. Have a seat.
Yeah.
Get warm. I'm just going to keep on preparing our dinner.
Do you need any help?
Absolutely not. You sit down and you relax.
Freya, I got you a little something.
Freya's latched to your leg. Like she is full on, like you still just see that as she is holding onto your leg for dear life as you're awkwardly trying to waddle to the counter with her on your leg.
Oh my god. Oh my heart. We're going up to my room. I'm going to sit down on the bed. I'm going to pull out the notebook and the charcoal. I'm going to put it next to me, and I'm going to look at Freya. I hope that you've been practicing all the time I was gone, and you wrote down all of the cool stuff that happened for you. And you gotta tell me about all the cool adventures that you had with your family and the dog, and like how was it like living in the forest?
Look, I can show you. And when you're pulling out that charcoal and notepad just kind of in your pocket, you feel there's something else in your pocket that you don't recognize being there for some reason.
I'll take a. When the Freya is turned around, I'm going to take a quick sneak peek.
Roll for perception.
Ooh. Am I good with perception? I am not good with perception. 16 total.
You kind of like slowly, as soon as she walks off to kind of look for whatever she's looking for, you take a quick glance down and you see that weird stone frog in your pocket.
Oh, dang it. Nico is he's trying to like his hand just kind of get rid of the smile that he has on his face, like his cheeks like automatically like go like up to a grin, and he just tries to like get it down, and he just lets out like a content sigh, and he just looks over at Freya.
Yeah, you see her coming running back with another piece of paper as she is kind of sitting on your bed next to you. She's trying to flatten it out so you can see, and you see that there's this cute little drawing of what seems to be like a cabin somewhere. You're seeing the frog or the little dog that they have there. She drew a little dog, and she drew her dad, and it says daddy, and then it says mommy, and his little picture, and you see her little drawing, and she goes Freya, and then you see another like this black figure off on the other side, and it just says Tammy on it. But yeah, you see, she goes, yeah, the first day that your friend came to tell us what was going on, he just shows up, but we were cooking dinner, and you see mommy there is chopping up her veggies, and you see that that Henry is running around, and I'm playing fetch with them. Yeah, you see that she also named the dog Henry for some reason.
I love the name, sweetheart.
But yeah, she's so excited. She's showing you all these different pictures of like them playing together, or daddy and her like being warriors or something. Or you see also a couple other pictures of what seems to be like a bunch of spiders running towards her, and that dark figure says Tammy holding out their swords, fighting off what seems to be hundreds of spiders. You also see what looks to be a description of a very large man with a sword fighting off what seems to be another person with a small dagger with, and it says Freya and Tammy, and then it also says Kazim and Silus and Nico as you guys are surrounding whatever this figure is. You also see another little picture of of what seems to be a black tabaxi crying over a broken bag or something in a bag in front of her, and you see Freya, little drawing of her, like her arm out, like she's comforting it, and it says Mistrix on top of it. So you're getting some kind of, she's somehow been aware of things that have been happening with your group.
Really? Did Tammy share those?
Yeah, Tammy told us all about your guys' adventures and saving the world
He
and
did?
fighting these monsters. Yeah, he said you sent it. He said you were supposed to watch and make sure we were safe. And yeah, he said you sent him.
I did. I did send him, and I am so happy that you guys were okay.
He's really nice.
I wish I could have been there with you.
Tammy is very scary though. He's scary.
Is he scary?
He's a little scary. He looks
a little secret.
He looks just like you.
I know he does. I'll tell you a little secret. He is a real cuddle bug, and he's a big little softie, but no one knows about it.
Okay, we'll keep it a secret, but when I see him again, I'll try and get him.
Yeah, you try to get him, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Also, I have a little something for you.
Presents.
It's not from me. It's from a princess that I know.
Also, roll for perception real quick.
Ooh, that's even better. That is 18 total.
As you're kind of looking, take a quick glance around the room, you also notice on the bookshelf behind Freya, there also seems to be a wooden boat that looks very familiar that seems to be sitting on a shelf.
Oh my god, I'm going to point out to it. But I always said hard. How did you like the boat?
It was so cool.
I picked it for you.
Your friend showed me a cool trick with it. Watch. And she kind of walks up and she grabs the boat and she puts it down, and you see her open it up. And now you're seeing a bunch of small figures in there, and you see her pull out like this little rock of some kind as she just kind of taps it, and all of a sudden these little figures begin kind of like walking around through the boat, and they seem to be like pulling on ropes and stuff and doing little chores, and one seems to be mopping the top deck.
That looks amazing,
Yeah,
sweetheart.
Yeah, it was so cool. Where'd you get it? Tammy said you brought it.
I brought it on my little adventure that I had in Peaksburg.
It's so cool.
How did you do it? Did Tammy show you how to?
Yeah, he brought me this very special rock, and he says that if I care about something, and tap it to it, it'll make it come to life. It always seems to work on the boat right now, though.
Oh, you know what? In that case, I think you can try it on something else too. And I'm going to pull out the little frog.
Mm-hmm.
This is from the princess, and you'll get to meet her today.
Okay,
hopefully. Yeah, you'll get to meet a princess.
Like a real life a real princess.
Like a real life princess. Yes.
Did you save her from a dragon?
Well, there is a dragon.
You got to meet a dragon! You see her like bubbling with excitement, and you see her just kind of hop up, and she pulls out this. Wait, Silas, did you give her the crossbow already?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see her kind of whip out this tiny, rudimentary crossbow, and she goes, "We get to fight the dragon."
Sweetie, where did you get that one from?
Silas gave it to me, Mr. Nightsman.
Silas was here before me.
Yeah. As you see her just kind of pointing around, just pretending she's like, "We're gonna fight the dragon, and then we're gonna save the princess again."
Oh, we're gonna fight the dragon. Oh, okay, sweetie. Well, whatever you want. We're gonna fight the dragon. But you know, sweetie, I don't have a weapon. I can't fight. You know.
That's
sweetie,
okay.
I
I'll
can't.
protect you, Nico. I've got you. You just see her kind of climb up, and she sits on your lap, and she's got her little crossbow like this. You notice there's not a bolt in it. It's not even pulled back, but she's pretending anyway.
I very specifically didn't buy her any bolts yet.
God, that was the smartest thing you've ever done. Fuck me. I would have never even thought of that.
Wait, that's the smartest thing I've ever done? Fuck you. I feel like I've done some things in this campaign.
I'm going to pull out the frog, and I'm going to put it on her hand.
You see her.
And why don't you try the rock now?
The rock? Okay, you see her pull out the tiny rock. She taps it, and the frog comes to life, and in her hand begins slowly jumping, and then jumps on her shoulder. And you see her like frozen, like kind of frozen joy, where she doesn't want to hurt it, but she's just so excited. There's a frog. There's a frog. It's alive.
I know it's moving.
The frog is alive.
It is.
You see her trying
How are you
to
going
gently.
to name it?
Oh, he's so cute. I'ma call him. I'ma call him. Hops. And you see,
I
Hops.
love the name.
And just kind of hops down and begins running around. She's just kind of laying on the ground. She's just kind of watching it. The crossbow she's put off to the side because, you know, she's immediately forgot it existed because now she's just watching this frog so intently as she's like putting her hand in front of it, seeing if it'll jump over her hand or not. And she's slowly petting it and stuff.
I am so proud of you, Freya. You did so good during all this time. You were protecting your family. You were protecting Tammy. I'm so proud of you, and I am so happy to be back. I miss you so much, sweetie.
You see her just kind of sit there for a second and stop as she looks up at you and she goes, "I missed you, Nico." She runs up and she just kind of latches onto your neck for a while and just gives you a big old hug.
Yeah, Nico's crying. He doesn't give a fuck. He's just crying.
As you guys,
And just holding onto her.
as you guys sit there in your warmth, long, loving embrace. Silas, what are you doing, buddy? You're walking back?
Yeah, I'm leading Iahme back to the house because I know the town a little better than she does. I feel.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys talking at all as you walk to?
Honestly, she's probably gonna be oiling her hair that way she can braid it the way it's supposed to be, and then she's going to call Draxto in.
As you just kind of hear that, as this small black dragon kind of lands next to you and begins slowly walking, and Silas, as you hear that flapping, and he just kind of lands, and you hear that black smoke coming out of his nose.
Darling, we're going to dinner.
What'd you say, Sis?
I'd say pleasure, Draxter.
You see him kind of look at you and just keep. He doesn't seem to respond to either. He just keeps walking.
So, Draxto, Silas has a couple questions for you if you're up for answering.
Black smoke comes back out of his nose as he's growling.
What's wrong? What's got your tongue tied this time?
You see him kind of look over at Silas, and Iahme, you hear him say, "Speak." Silas, you just hear this kind of.
He wishes to know your questions.
Before I ask, please do know I accept that I am not worthy of the knowledge of dragons. but if you assist me, I will assist you in the future. Tell me, what is the story of Ventus?
You see him just kind of walking as he, and Iahme, you can he's not opening his mouth or making any noise, but you hear him say he is his child.
She's gonna kind of look over at Silus and be like, he says he is his child. Are you talking about Nico, love?
The one inside.
The one inside.
Amiel is the child.
No. Ventus is his child.
Oh. So, what connection do they have to Nico?
I don't know.
She's gonna be relaying this stuff to Silus.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not, because yeah.
Because isn't it? Silas doesn't know the story of what
Nope.
happened.
Mm-mm.
So I'm trying to think what.
Oh, Draxto, I know you aren't in the mood for peasant pleasantries. But it will get you a hot dinner that is not on the verge of decay, if that helps.
Again, he just kind of grunts that black smoke as he just keeps walking.
And I will tell you they have a small child who will probably be very thrilled to see your majestic grace.
Silas, you hear this just audible, just kind of annoyed growl as soon as she mentions the child. He's not stoked about this.
Yeah, I know. I figured that'd be the case.
She may want to fight you, darling. So, prepare your best foe fighting
I
in
can't
the
eat
dramatic ways you love. I'll make a deal with you. I will find something you can entertain yourself with and eat. Fair enough?
You hear this kind of sarcastic, as you wish, as he just kind of keeps walking forward. And again, Silas, you just hear this very annoyed growl.
Yeah, like I feel like guttural
Yeah,
noises.
to the point where you could kind of sense that he's, you're picking up the gist of what he's saying, even though you don't understand it.
He's
It's
over it.
it's universal.
And
Just fuck this
Silas is
shit.
like, oh, very well, Your
Yep.
Grace.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like sort of vibrations in his teeth. That's kind of what I
Mhm.
imagine. Just fucking.
With him kind of like flapping his head sarcastically. Whoa.
Yeah.
Is there any knowledge that you've gained on your hourly adventures?
Nothing as of yet.
At least you're not trapped in my mind or my body.
You do see him kind of look up at you, and without moving his mouth or making any noise, you just hear him say in your head, "Yet I still get no privacy."
What privacy does a dragon need?
When-
Oh, wait, you want another trip to your brothels?
He just kind of, he doesn't answer, he just keeps walking.
Well, if you play nice, I will give you as much free time as I can. But if I even slightly wish to keep adventuring with this lot, which, oddly enough, their adventure has something to do with Tharizdun, so...
Roll for insight with advantage.
Oh. I like advantage. Okay. I feel it. 18? Not bad.
You notice his eyes kind of narrow, and what would be like these scales near his ears kind of twitch as you mentioned Tharizdun.
I take it you have feelings about that?
This lot will die.
Well, maybe if you help them not perish, you'll gain your body back.
He doesn't say anything nor think anything. He just kind of flaps and begins flying ahead of above you guys now.
He's annoyed with me again.
What did you say to him?
I told him that I want him to play nice so that I may have the opportunity to continue this adventure with you all. I also told him the name your adventure entails.
I did
And-
ponder what
Well,
connection the dragons may or may not have to Theristan.
whatever connection it is, he doesn't really fear. He states that it will lead to certain death.
I have already accepted that reality.
Hmm.
I know it, though not impossible, unlikely that all of us will see to the end of this war. If we can even call it a war and not mere genocide.
Fair enough.
As you guys are continuing to cross over the different bridges towards where Nico's house would be, Kazim, you said you were making your way towards the house as well.
I will probably stop to buy wine on the way in, but yeah.
Okay, I'll say that there probably is, a random late night vendor just kind of along your way, just outside of the fort, maybe trying to sell to some of the guards and soldiers that are inside for a quick buck, and you just kind of toss him a quick silver as he hands you a bottle of simple wine. Doesn't seem like anything fancy. Maybe something he made in his basement. You don't know. It works.
I mean, nothing better than toilet wine, right?
Exactly.
Hey.
As you begin walking across the bridge that goes over that seems to be the dry part of the river towards the river's bed, walking towards that small house that you remember Nico's small family inside, you hear Cresselia and Nicholas talking on the inside. Seems to be just having a simple conversation about their excitement for Nico to be back. You assume with that he's probably already there, but do you just knock?
Yeah, I'll just knock on the door.
Okay. Nico, you've probably gone downstairs at this point, looking at the small group as you hear a knock at the door. Do you go answer, or do you let Nicholas go do it?
No, I think I will actually be the one to answer.
Okay.
I was just like excited, like tipped up my way over to the door. And I'm gonna without hesitation, because fuck it, I'm just gonna like swing it open, wide open, and with a smile on my face, just like hella fucking excited, so happy to be back.
The door opens, and Kazim, you see a different kind of Nico, standing very tall, large smile in his face. He's never like this, but he seems genuinely happy for once, which is odd for you, because he's usually the kind of downer, quiet, shy person. Not this time. Not this Nico. He's comfortable.
Oh, you're finally here. Get in. You need. I don't know if you ever met Freya before, but like you need to meet her. Like here, come in. Just get in, Kazim.
All right.
You walk in.
Just like jumping up and down.
You walk inside to this home, and you do see it's not large by any means, but it is homely. You see that there's a small fireplace, what seems to be a sitting area, and in the corner of the kitchen, you do see a female human kind of cooking over by what seems to be a wooden stove, as a larger man is sitting in a stool with a cup in his hand as he looks over and goes, "Ah, welcome. You must be a friend of Nico's."
Yeah.
This is my mom and dad. this is Freya.
You see Nicholas just kind of look at Cresselia, and you just see Cresselia and go, yeah, he is right. As Freya just kind of walks up next to Nico, and you see her kind of like shy at first as she's looking up at you, and she kind of looks up at you, Nico, and goes, "He's really tall for a bird."
Just don't call him that. He doesn't like it. And as I like, crouch down to like, whisper in their ear, like, he doesn't like it.
He is a
You can
bird.
call him Kazim. I know,
okay,
I know,
okay,
technically.
Okay, I got it. Welcome to our home, Kazim.
There you go. So proud of
How much of that did I hear?
You probably heard all of it.
Seething with rage. Thank you for inviting me into your home.
You hear Nicholas go, I'm sorry about her. She's never met an Aarakocra before, actually.
Fine. Rest.
You see
Kazim,
Cresselia,
only this
you
one.
hear Cresselia just kind of turn around and goes, now, okay, sit down, make yourself comfortable. Nicholas, get your ass up and get him a drink. Oh, right. Kazim, can I get you something? Water, we have some juices. We also have some mead if you'd like some.
I brought wine. I thought that'd be nice.
Good man. As he walks over and
Aw.
quickly grabs it, and you see him uncork it, and he kind of brings out 4 glasses for the 4 of you, and just pours a small amount and hands it all out to you and goes, welcome to our home, as he clinks his small wooden cup with you as he takes a small swig of the wine. Make yourself comfortable. I think we have at least, 2 more we're waiting on? As he looks to you, Nico.
We waiting for Silus and we're waiting for Iahme, yes.
Excellent.
They're also Nico, he looks like sheepishly like to the side, like kind of like scratching the back of his head. There is a kind of a other companion coming with. I'm not sure whether or not he will actually show up or not, but he's like a I look at the image.
You see Nicholas kind of sitting there all confused, like, so one more. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
I know what you're looking at me for.
I don't know what to call him.
A pet, kind of.
That's fine. I assume are you talking about the dog that Silas walked away with earlier?
Oh,
Yeah, Henry, right?
Yeah, Henry.
Yeah. That's exactly what we're talking about.
Just a bit bigger, like slightly bit bigger.
That's fine. I'm sure we can find something. While we wait, I'm gonna go check on the meat real quick. As Nicholas kind of gets up and he begins walking out the small back door that seems to go into this other kind of. Nico, you've seen it. There's a small like covered, almost like port on the side of it. Iron walls, but it's got a roof. And you know that sometimes that they have a little fire back there for roasting some larger cuts of meats, as you knew that you guys were all coming. Iahme and Silus, I would say, probably around this time, you guys are beginning to walk past the water wheel as you're hearing the commotion going on the inside and making your way down towards that dirt path that you guys were going down before.
Silus,
Yes, Iahme.
it just occurred to me. Do we need to bring anything? I've never been to a peasant dinner, but I know when others come to dinners for me, they bring things, and she's just like very concerned and confused at the same time.
Well, I gave a gift to the young girl, and I plan on giving that, and I'll pull the last of my sort of seasonings that I've gathered. I planned on giving this to Cresselia and Nicholas to use in their future cooking.
She gets like super excited and starts digging through her bag. Karma, does she have enough flowers to make a pretty bouquet?
I'll say so, yeah. You've definitely got enough to make a fairly decent size bouquet of wildflowers and stuff.
She's gonna pull it out and be like, does this work?
I think that would do lovely.
Perfect. She's gonna
You know
tie
what?
some string around it.
Roll for nature for me.
Okay.
We're gonna see how good this bouquet looks.
Oh, is this bouquet made of all the death bells and nightshades that I fucking gave her?
Hey, Bestie.
What is it?
has an unnatural 20 look.
Okay, yeah, it is very beautifully arranged and stuff like that. Silas, you do see her every once in a while pull out what looks to be a very poisonous flower, but you see her quickly recognize as something that you've taught her is not something to have around people openly. You see her put that back as she's pulling out her normal flowers and stuff.
Oh, that one's bad.
Yeah, you see her go, oh, this one's so pretty. It will kill somebody. Okay. She's putting it all back.
Death, not the day.
Yeah.
Save, mass murder, save, mass murder.
You see her pull out something. We're going near a small child, right? Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Karma, she's gonna like dig down in there and see those flowers and be like, oh, later.
Right.
Silas, remind me
you see her.
later.
You see her grab something. You see her kind of look down and goes, "Oh right, who knew?"
Silas, remind me to ask you all for a conference.
You hear as soon as she said it, Silas, you hear what sounds to be a black dragon chuckling for some reason.
She's just gonna look up and be like, shh.
You wish to have a team meeting?
Yes, precisely.
Kinda.
The dragon seems very impressed.
He's not one for group meetings, but I'm pretty sure what I have planned, he will be more than happy to indulge himself.
Again, you hear a chuckle coming from as you see him land on a rooftop next to you guys. He just kind of lays down, watching you all walk towards your little house.
And Daxto, are you going to be dragon, or are you going to be stand upright, bipedal?
What dragon?
In your head,
well, she thinks about it for a second. She's like, well, he's been an elf. He's been a dragonborn.
you see him kind of cross his legs as he kind of lays down for a moment. And he goes, "You've given me my time for the day. I have to be dragon."
Well, I'm sorry, Sass Master. I didn't know that it worked like that.
You see him jump down and start walking towards you. And Silas, you hear this kind of like, it sounds like a very sarcastic growl, but you just hear him say, "Perhaps you should ask," as he's walking towards the house. And by the way, Silas, this whole time there's been a dog following you guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's just happy. He doesn't give a shit. He's just happy to be here. The dragon kind of jumps down. He doesn't give a shit.
He's just a little guy.
Yeah,
he's just a little
guy. He don't give a fuck. Nothing phases Henry.
I will say, as he goes past, Sir Draxto, if there is anything I can do to make this evening more comfortable, I will be at your service, so long as you don't make me raise a weapon against anyone.
You see him just kind of turn his head, and this again that black smoke comes out of his nose. Just walks over to near the door and just kind of lays down.
And she's gonna like whisper to Draxto, "He is learning Draconic just to talk to you."
You just hear him say, "Pointless."
Not pointless if you're stuck with me.
Now, we beg the question. Did they tell them about Draxto?
If not, I will stay outside with him until it is done.
I doubt Cresselia would allow that. We will find a solution.
Fair. She's gonna like dust off her dress to make sure it's not dusty. She's gonna like wipe the bottoms of her feet to make sure she's not tracking dirt in because she doesn't wear shoes.
And Silas is just going to ignore the fact that his clothes are still full of holes.
Ruined, dirty as shit, muddy.
Although they don't smell anymore. They don't smell anymore, thanks to the rain.
Can I help with that? That is. Can I touch him and do mending?
Yeah, Silas. All of a sudden, a bunch of your holes.
If you do that, he's going to actively try and step away from you.
You can roll for Dex if you really want to try and do it. Both of you could.
Yeah.
You roll for Dex, Silas. You roll for Dex save.
Cool. Fine by me.
Nope, don't worry about it.
Are you sure?
Don't worry about it. Well, she got a nat 1, bro.
Well, Wow, I got a 4.
I got a net 1. Like, even if I add for dexterity, there's no way.
Yeah, Silas, you
Oh.
see her reaching out, but you move a little too late, but she trips on her own feet and falls to the ground.
She's gonna.
You hear behind you that.
She's gonna shoot a glare at the dragon and be like, "Do you want food, or would you like to starve?"
Black smoke comes out as he lays back down. He doesn't answer you.
I will offer her a hand, but as I sort of pull her up, assuming she takes it, obviously.
Yeah.
Scars, I am not yet ready to be healed.
It is only a shirt.
To some, not to me.
Fair. You did honor me with the flowers, so accept it.
Yes. The same way that Kazim's crest is simply a picture.
Both of you roll for perception.
Something I could actually do? Holy
Right?
shit.
Fuck y'all.
14.
22.
Nico,
Yeah.
Kazim, you see Nicholas get up and kind of peek outside, and you just hear him go, "What the fuck is that?"
Oh.
Iahme, you definitely hear this as you look at the window, and there's a human just staring at Draxto, who's just sitting in his laying down in his front lawn.
He's harmless, I swear. She's gonna like put her hands up, holding the bouquet, like it's okay.
You see him like kind of like peeking out the door. He doesn't with your perception check. You can tell he's not really like threatened by it. He's more of curious because he's like, what in the fuck is in my front yard? Yeah, you definitely see him by the door. It's kind of like, what the fuck is that? And you see Freya kind of running up and go, "What, Daddy? What is it?"
It's...
Did Nico not tell you that we were bringing Draxter with us?
You see him kind of slowly open it, and he looks down at you, Silas, and goes, "Is that the pet? Kazim! Is that the pet?"
Oh no!
Including the shit eater, just chuckling in the corner.
You see Draxto kind of, as he just tries not to get up.
She's just gonna look at him and be like, just in all draconic, she'll be like, "I am so sorry. I am sure he did not mean that at all. He doesn't know who you are. They are ignorant to anything that isn't here."
Yeah, you see him kind of stand up and look at you, Iahme. He just fucking takes off as far as he can. You see him go off to another building further away and just kind of lay on the roof of it.
I want to call him back, but I know better. She's gonna turn to Silas and be like,
I have no words.
Did I? I'm sorry. Did I?
He is much more to Iahme than a pet.
It is not just
I'm so
me.
sorry. Was that a fucking dragon?
That was, and she's gonna say the name in Draconic and then be like, "His acidic grace, Draxto."
You hear Cresselia go, "Did you just say a dragon?" And Nico, you see Nicholas kind of looking and goes, "Was that a goddamn fucking dragon in my front yard?"
I know it sounds bad, it looks bad, but it's fine. It's fine.
No, you see him just kind of walk out and goes, and he walks up to you, Iahme, and goes, "Dude, is he like connected with you?"
Indeed.
"How the fuck do you travel with a dragon?" And you hear Freya go, "Dragon!" And she runs out and she's got her crossbow out. She's like walking around her front yard, kind of like searching for whatever this beast is.
Like marching through.
Yeah. And then you see her stop, look up at you, Iahme, and she goes, "Oh, you're the princess!"
She's just gonna like gently lower the flowers to the little girl.
You see her kind of go, "Ah!" And she grabs it and she's kind of runs inside. Mom, I got flowers from a princess." You hear Cresselia and go, "What is happening in my front yard?" As she's walking past the window, drying her hands off, and you see her walk down the steps. She goes, "Silas, excellent to see you. I'm sorry. I believe who are you?" She's drying her hands off.
Myself.
Yes, ma'am.
Skipping all formality, Iahme.
Pleasure, Iahme. I'm Cresselia. Are you the person that Freya's calling a princess?
I guess in all respects I technically would be.
Well, pleasure, your grace. You guys are welcome inside. Is there actually a dragon out here? As you see her kind of looking around, kind of scared.
Pseudo dragon, but yes.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude. Is it house trained?
He, in my culture, is a god.
I am so sorry. I've never had a dragon near my house. It's all learning.
Doesn't answer the
How
question.
God over dinner?
Well, if there is a dragon out here, they are welcome in my home. I don't know what to say.
The neighbors are gonna think you're crazy.
Yeah, I absolutely, I know, but oh, come inside. Let's get you all a drink. Kazim was nice enough to bring wine. Come on.
I will hand her the pouch of seasonings.
You have the best eye. Oh my god. Oh, as she pulls out and she goes, "Is this black truffle?" Oh my goodness. Oh, fantastic. Get inside. Come on. Let's go.
I'm going to
Inside.
stand up and walk
Can I-
over
can I-
to the two.
Can I tap Nico on the shoulder real quick?
Oh.
Pardon. Sorry. I know you have mental friendships. Can you ask? Can he be human to go in, or is he stuck like that after adventures? How does that work?
Oh, you don't know?
No. I have no clue.
I'm gonna pull her away a little bit, and I'm going to whisper to her. If what I'm assuming is correct, you have something akin to how it's working for me. It's like I let him out maybe an hour a day at max, and it takes a lot of energy to keep it up. So myself, I'm sadly only able to do it like maybe once a day, and then I need to take a good power nap to get back up again in strength to be able to do it again. It could be perhaps something akin to that as well. So unless there's something that I don't know about, that would be my guess.
I guess I will need that team meeting tonight, as Silas called it. She's gonna kind of look at her, look at herself and be like,
Meeting.
"Oh yes, I have something wonderful to show you."
Well, we will surely get to that.
I know we have a little bit of misguided interactions in the past.
That is a bit of an understatement, but
Forgive me, common
you
is
are
my
in my home,
language.
and you are more than welcome to be here, and I am glad to see you guys here.
If it means anything at all, I do apologize. I did not intend to hurt you.
Believe me, in this little posy of ours, it is not the first time I have been struck down, and probably not the last one, if I'm being perfectly honest with you.
Fair. Well, I guess we will leave him. She's gonna kind of look over her shoulder toward the dragon and be like, "Out here."
I think it's going to be fine. If he would like to, at any point, come by closer and have a bit of a bite himself, or if he'd be also gracious to amuse my little Freya, then he's more than welcome to. I will not hold it against him if he's not up for pleasantries such as these.
He needs a little
And-
more light in his life.
Also, That was some sneaky shit he pulled.
You're welcome.
She loved it.
Good, I'm glad. Well, shall we?
Yes, of course. I'm going to like swing my arm like to the rest of the house. I'm going to walk over to Silas and I can just like extend a hand to him.
As you guys are walking up, Nicholas does kind of go over to Silas. He goes, "Oh, I actually have a couple questions for you. I'm trying to cook a boar we caught earlier in kind of more orcish style. If you can get your opinions on this, not much of a cook."
At least my talents are not wasted.
As he begins leading you inside, and Nico, you guys begin walking inside. As soon as you open the door, you notice that Freya is sitting next to the fireplace, kind of like laying on the ground like this as she's looking at that live frog just kind of hopping around, and Cresselia is just cooking off in the corner. Kazim is just kind of sitting there on a couch, just sipping a cup of wine. As he's walking past the kind of countertop, you see Nicholas pour a couple more cups of wine and goes, please, help yourselves. As he grabs himself another quick pour and begins drinking it and tries to hand you one, Silas.
Oh, I haven't had mine for the day, have I? Because I've had the charcoal, so I can actually take this.
Yep.
So yeah, I will take it graciously and sort of bow my head in respect, and then go look at the boar.
Yep, you see him kind of quickly walk over, give Cresselia a kiss on the cheek as she keeps cooking some kind of like potato fry thing. You're not too sure what's going on there, but as you guys walk out, you see the small little covered patio, and you notice that there's no fire or anything, but you see there seems to be smoke coming out of the ground, as you recognize as kind of a orcish tradition of like a celebratory kind of, if it's not big worth a bonfire, but you want to kind of slow cook it, you guys cook it in a kind of underground oven that he's attempting. He goes, I did hear this from a traveling orc that you guys sometimes do this, and I figured, what better time for celebration, as he's pulling away some of the dirt and what seems to be like a plank of wood he was using as kind of a lid for it, is this beautiful smell of like almost barbecue kind of seasonings coming out, and it all just kind of hits you at once. You're smelling like the cumin and stuff like that, and he goes, I just, how do you regulate the temperature in there? I'm having a bit of trouble getting airflow in there.
Well, the technique my father taught me was, and I'll sort of pull one of my javelins out and begin sort of making these slight sort of prick points.
Yep. You see that he has like one, and you quickly notice that usually there's 3 or 4 to kind of really guarantee that there's good airflow. So you're just kind of pushing down, and he goes, see, I wasn't sure if I didn't want to put too much down there. Thank you. Oh, brilliant.
The trick is about for me a knuckle, for you maybe 3 knuckles between each of the holes.
Yep, I see. That's what he was saying, a knuckle, and I was like, how the fuck is that all there? Yeah, that makes a lot of, thank you so much. Okay. And you see him kind of quickly bend down, and he's checking it, and he kind of quickly cuts off a couple pieces, and he hands you a piece, and he goes, you want to try it? Home recipe, as he quickly just grabs a little bite of it.
Absolutely, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, you try it. It's a bit over seasoned, but you can tell he must at some point have eaten with orcs or some kind of unorthodox before, because these are very familiar flavors to you. Again, a bit too much from someone that probably didn't grow up with it, but it's good. It's real good, especially for a more orthodox kind of person to make. It does remind you a bit of home and your own kind. He goes, yeah, a couple of buddies that used to work on the farm with us, they'd bring us these fantastic sandwiches, and they would describe that this is how they would kind of cook the meat to go on them. And I had to try, and I mean, I couldn't think of a better time not to try it.
For the first time, it is very impressive. The flavors are slightly overwhelming, but if you get a bucket of boiling water and sit it in the steam for 5 or so minutes, it should lighten it up slightly.
Oh, that's a good idea. Honey! And you hear Cresselia go, what? Can you give me a small bucket of water? Oh. And you see her kind of walk up, and the door just kind of cracks open, and you just see an arm dangling out what seems to be a very small bucket of water. And you just slam the door really quick as she goes back to cooking. He puts it down, and she goes, that's a brilliant idea. Never would have thought of that. He covers it back up and goes, thank you so much, Silas. Appreciate that.
We all began studying at one point or another, Nicholas. You've done very well for a first time.
Hey, it pays off to employ all these unorthodox. You guys have some very interesting kind of cultures that, I mean, your guys' cooking is phenomenal. Have we not tried this before?
Well, when you live off the land, you learn to get creative with flavors. One thing I don't recommend is taking alcohol from a kobold. That will tear your throat out.
He begins laughing with you as he puts his arm on your back as he begins leading you guys back into the house. Yeah, as you guys are just all relaxing as Cresselia is kind of bringing out some what seem to be small, thinly sliced potatoes that seem to be fried in some kind of animal fat. Some kind, and Freya's sitting there playing with her little frog, and Kazim, Nico, and Iahme, what you guys doing on the inside as Silus is walking back inside?
Nico would definitely be sitting down there at the ground with Freya, playing with the frog as well. He would he would let's see. He would pick up like tiny stones from the outside. He'll bring them in, and he would cast very faint like light with my cantrip light. He'll be glowing them up in different colors, like shimmering, and he would have them place in between, like just around, like for the frog to like jump around, like kind of like makeshift, like a not racing track, but like just like to like jump in between. And Nico is he's just sitting there with Freya, like watching her with a soft smile on his face, and he's just at home.
I mean, Kazim, I assume you're both just kind of sitting there, just kind of soaking this all in.
Honestly, she's probably gonna like lean toward Kazim at one point and be like, "Is this a normal gathering for?"
Buddy, you're asking the wrong person right now, honestly.
I have no clue of any culture over here, so I'm just...
This is kind of like my first time at like a family home, so this is new to me too.
Okay.
Uh,
Do we interact, or...
We're currently interacting. I think.
I mean with them.
Do I hear them say that?
Yeah, you definitely hear them. Like they're fucking right behind you. They're not less than like 4 or 5 feet away. They are right there.
I am just going to pull on like Iahme's hand and like, you know, gently, of course, just like dragging like a little bit down next to me.
Okay.
And you know, just pat the ground so she sits down.
Kneel in the floor. Just...
Yes.
All right. She looks at Kazim. I'm interacting.
I'm going to hand her a rock that is glowing like nice bright pink right now, and I just put it in her hand, and I tell her to put it somewhere on the ground so the frog can jump over it.
She will do her best to interact with this game and this small child.
Yeah, you see her as Freya just kind of put one rock in front of you. You just see the frog just kind of leap in front of him, and you go, oh! And you put yours down as the frog leaps over yours, and you just see her go, oh! So excited. And behind you, you just hear Chris and go, dinner's done, yo! Come get some food! As she's putting out plates, as you guys turn around, and you see that the table is all set, and you see Nicholas kind of disappear for a moment as he comes in, but through that back door as Ursula pushes it open. You see this fairly large, just kind of pan with a large hunk of meat on the inside, and it just smells phenomenal. It smells like it's been cooking all damn day or something, as he kind of puts it down and takes what looks to be like these banana leaves almost off, and just kind of pours out this delicious smelling smoke. As Cresselia is grabbing some plates, they're plating you guys up some They got you a nice little salad, some of those fried kind of potato slices, and then some of this like pulled, it seems almost like pulled pork is the closest thing I can think of, as they kind of bring it over. And there's a small piece of bread on each of your plates. And then you see Cresselia and Nicholas set up another small plate as they kind of walk over to the front door and open it up and just kind of put it on the step. And you see Cresselia turn around and go, in case your dragon friend decides he wants to come near, you know, give him a little something. As they all kind of sit around the table and hear, Freya, come on, dip, let's go. I know your frog's super cool and stuff.
Come on, sweetie. Mom is calling for you.
You see her kind of grabbing the frog as she's holding it, and you just see her like take her rock, and she like touches to it, and it turns back to stone. And you just see her go, that is so cool. She's walking over. She just puts it on her table, and she's just kind of sitting there staring at it still.
I just watch her like walk towards Cresselia with like he just like sighs like content and looks over and like just like wipes like a tear from the eye, the corner of his eye, and continues after her. Well, guys, food is ready, so you know just get on and don't let Cresselia wait for you. She will not take kindly to that. As I turn around and tell both Iahme and Kazim, as they're the closest to me in the room.
Yep. As you guys are all sitting down, you're all enjoying your meal for the night. Iahme, you hear in the back of your head that just because you're so accustomed to listening to it, you do hear on the outside of the door the plate kind of rustling, and assume that Draxto has come near and he's just eating off of that plate, but that still doesn't seem to want to come towards the door or anything. But he's eating whatever's out there. You're all having beautiful conversation throughout the night as you were enjoying your meal. Nico, in your hand, just before you all begin eating, you feel this kind of weight in your one hand, and you see this very nice, expensive bottle of wine just resting in your hand.
You know, you could probably just show up yourself too. I'm sure they wouldn't mind. I think to myself, and I try to catch Cresselia like on the shoulder as I tap her. I'll be back in a second. I just need to take a step outside and take a bit of a breather. It's been a lot, and I'm so happy to be here, but I just need a bit of air. And I'm just going to step out, and you know, look left, look right. No seeing, no.
Are you going out to the front door?
Oh, the party's in the back, right?
Yeah, the party's in the back of the house.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go to the front door.
Okay, so
and you know,
as you guys walk outside and you kind of look around, you see Draxto just kind of laying there, but he doesn't seem interested. He doesn't even like look up when you guys come out. As you kind of,
I am going to actually before I do anything, I'm going to like walk up to Draxto, and I'm going to crouch down, like to kind of get like on eye level.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to look him deep in the eyes, and I'll say, I know that we're not necessarily friends, and I know that the road has been rocky, but I appreciate you being around for all that it's worth. And I am sure that whatever comes next is going to be exciting. And you'll love it. Without waiting necessarily for him to do anything, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to dig out my my dagger, and I'm just going to slice it open and let Tammy out.
So you slowly open up that wound once more, and you see that blue smoke kind of pouring out of your arm as it begins becoming corporeal, and there's that darker version of you, and you see him kind of look around and look at the house, and he goes, what a beautiful night.
I'm going to tackle him with a hug, well, like before he even.
That's all right, Nico.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
Of course. I had to spend my time doing something.
It means so much. Let's get back in. I'm sure they'll be
After you, Nico.
thrilled to see you. I'm going to like open the door and I'm going to hand him the bottle back, and I'm going to open the doors and
you see him kind of grab the bottle, and he looks up at you and goes, "Give me a moment." As he looks over to Draxto, and as you walk inside to go sit back down at the table, you see that Cresselia has already set another spot at the table, ready for, I guess, whoever could go. And a few moments go by as you see the door open, and in comes that darker version of Nico, and you just hear Freya go, "Tammy!" as she jumps down and runs over to go give Tamiel a hug. Oh, hello, Nico. Hello, Freya. Come on, let's go sit. You know how your mother gets, as he's pushing her towards it. And he holds the door open, and after a while, you do actually see incoming that male elf person as well, as he's walking in, kind of looking around and just kind of straightening himself up. And you see him walking over, and you hear Tammy go, "I hope you all don't mind. I invited a friend of mine. He wanted to be a part of the conversation tonight." As he's walking over next to you, Iahme, you just see another chair kind of float from the back of the room to be placed next to you. As you see Tammy just kind of flick his finger and sets up another space, and you hear Cresselia and go, "Tammy, will you please just show me how you do that?" And he goes, "It takes some time, Cresselia, and when we get some free time, I will show you any trick that you'd like." As he sits down, you see him grab a seat next to Nico, and right next to
Nico's like an arm of him, and like he's having Freya like sitting on his lap. Like he does not let the child out of his sight, period.
And Iahme next to you, Draxto in his elven form has decided to just kind of take a spot as he's looking around, and a plate kind of shows up in front of him as Cresselia walks past and gives them both a plate, and you just kind of see him go with a fork and just slowly start eating. You can tell he's pretty uncomfortable. He's never been in any kind of instance like this before.
In her mind, she's gonna be like, "You're doing well. Just breathe."
You see Tammy just kind of take a bite of that meat as he's looking at it. He goes, takes a small bite, and he goes, "Nicholas, you are getting phenomenal at this technique. Ah, my goodness. Silas, I think he's on his way to be almost as good as you are." As he's taking another bite.
I'll cast like a worried glance towards Silas to make sure that he's
Silas
doing
is
okay.
Silas is not looking at Tammy whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere except Tammy. Just trying to act as normal as he can, but Nico would definitely be able to tell that he's avoiding looking at Tammy.
Yeah, I get it as much.
Yeah.
I'm assuming in the way we're sitting, it's like Silas, Draxto, Iahme.
Yeah.
Like
it's very easy for him to just kind of avoid Tammy. And you can also tell that Tammy kind of picked his spot based on being able to be out of Silas's eyesight, because Silas, he's very easily able to tell that Silas wants nothing to do with him, so still able to communicate with the table as you guys enjoy your weird family dinner together. It's still welcome and a very nice change of pace from just being out in the woods. It feels homely, it feels comfortable for you all. Kazim, you're not too sure how to feel about any of this shit because you've never done anything like this before. The closest you've gotten is the cafeteria in Peak Barrow. It's kind of it.
I've been out of the conversation. I finished the food 5 minutes before everybody else.
He's just kind of sitting there watching everybody. Also, maybe kind of casing up the place, seeing if there's anything of value around.
I would never.
He's a liar.
I did that earlier.
Roll for investigation.
He actually rolls. All right. Okay.
Okay, that's not bad.
He didn't.
Actually, only a 15.
Okay. You guys chat for a little bit. I'm gonna text him.
Not casing joint, looking for any insecurities in their security systems.
Just that happens to be next to a lockbox, okay?
If it happens to be next to a lockbox, I'm gonna notice, so I can say like, "Hey, it's a little close to the door. You know, you might want to change the locks."
Let me handle that. Let me handle that. I can deal with it.
Let me put it away for you. You know.
Oh my god.
I would
I'm
never.
going to look towards Iahme and ask her how she's enjoying her evening, if she's ever been visiting around in these parts of the realm, and I'm making pleasant conversations with Iahme and everyone at the table, just enjoying the peaceful time.
She will openly be like, this is quite the change of pace and the change of scenery.
You hear Cresselia go, I know it's not any palace, but it is what we call home, and this is how we all show that we appreciate one another, no matter how different our worlds may be. And we do appreciate you being here, Princess Iahme.
You can just call me Iahme. Formalities are not a thing here. So.
We have quite literally never met royalty before, so this is all kind of new.
My title will be too long and far too time-consuming to tell.
You kind of hear, but actually, you know what? I want you guys all to roll for perception.
All of us, including me?
Yeah, including you.
Oh, baby. 24.
Yeah.
Oh god.
4 total.
What am I rolling? What am I
I
rolling?
was gonna say, me and Kazim are gonna get high because we're good at this shit.
Perception. If I was on the right page, everything would be fine. 24.
You all, except for Nico, all see Draxto kind of behind you. Iahme just kind of go, meh. Like making fun of you as you talk, clearly annoyed. Oh, my title would be too long for you.
And his, she'll kind of like side-eye him, and would be in a language you could not comprehend.
And you see Cresselia and go, oh, I'm sorry, he said your name was Draxto, and you see Draxto just kind of quickly looks over and yes, ma'am.
She's gonna kind of like gently pat his knee under the table.
You just hear Tammy kind of lean over and go, he never makes small talk, so he gets once he gets accustomed to you, he's actually quite pleasant to be around. And you just hear this coming from Draxto as he continues eating his meat. Don't take any offense to it. That's just who he is.
I am so happy to have you here, guys, to meet my family and have just a nice evening off together. We had quite the adventures, and I think for a little while we should be done, right? I think that's the
At least
I think that's the plan, right?
you see Tammy just go, at least for a little while. I assume that relaxation is in order, but Nico, unfortunately, you and I will have some business here, and we have a few weeks, but we will need to keep moving after a bit, so.
I mean, of course, but that we at least get a little bit of a breather, right?
Exactly. Take all the time that we can now. I'm not too sure what Silus and Kazim will be up to, or Iahme and Draxto, but for now. And you kind of see him stand up and kind of grab his small cup of wine. For the families that to be made and the families that we all enjoy now. I appreciate all of you. And you see him kind of look at every single one of you. And weirdly enough, he seems pretty serious about that and goes, to friendship and family.
The friendship and family. And, you know,
You see Cresselia and Nicholas lift up their glasses and take a drink as well.
Cheers.
That's
You
a
see-
hint.
You see Draxto also kind of sitting there with a drink in hand. You just kind of see him. He's obviously watching the room with a cup in his hand. Iahme, his cup is empty. He doesn't know what it's for. as he just kind of sees you all just.
Oh my god.
He's never been part of a toast before. He's never seen it before.
Poor boy.
But Cresselia, Nicholas, you need to tell me how was the time? How are you enjoying the woods? I hope it was not an issue. Or
You know,
any troubles.
it has been forever since we've been able to be up to the cabin, and it needed a cleaning. So I was so busy as we got up there.
Oh, I bet you. I bet you.
Plus, we having Tamiel here coming to watch over us and tell us interesting stories about you guys. And by the way, and you see her kind of look over at all of you and go, I am sorry to hear about your friend. What was her name, Mistrix? He told us that something had happened, and I my condolences to all of you. From what I understand, is she was actually quite lovely to be around.
She truly was.
I don't mean to bring
been-
up any bad memories, but you guys were in our thoughts at those times.
Well, we appreciate you guys. And it's been a long, treacherous journey, and we had adventures galore, and I'm sure you've heard of them. And
Oh, absolutely. By the way, did you all really see, like, as he put it, thousands of spiders in a cave somewhere? Was that?
Nico like visibly shudders.
When was this?
Kazim, when you were in the underpass,
Barrow.
on the way to Peak
Remember
Barrow,
underpass?
where you guys were running away from
we
hundreds of
chased?
thousands of
Yeah.
spiders.
And
Yeah.
that big fucking tendril thingy.
Yeah.
Doesn't know about the
That's
tendril.
That the stealthy ass cat did not avoid, but everyone else did.
It's fine.
But I saved
It's-
people, so it's okay.
It was very interesting. Yes.
Anyway.
Right.
Silas, what are you doing during this conversation? How are you responding? How are you acting?
Unless he is spoken to, Silas is just focusing on his own meal.
Okay.
Trying to hide his discomfort.
Okay.
It's good barbacoa, so like
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's
buddy,
pretty
I'm
damn good.
depressive, inside of like 11. I'm sorry, buddy. I can't. Can't help you with that one.
Nicholas, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
So I couldn't help but notice you've got pretty shitty security around here.
I mean, we don't really plan on being robbed.
I look at him.
I have a gift for you.
Oh,
It's a shocker as much to me as anybody else. See, I've got this object that could be used in home security, I suppose.
oh.
It's
Alright.
yours if you want it. Let me pull it out, and I'll pull out the little barrel. It's the size of a keychain,
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
and I'll speak the magic word as I toss it over, just like into an empty part of the room.
Okay, so
Uh,
as you speak the magic word and kind of toss it, and this boom, turns into large, and you hear Freya go, "Whoa!" and boom, this very solid thud as a barrel full of fish is now in the middle of their living room.
I thought I jumped out the fish.
You did.
But then I shrank it and grew it again, and there was no fish.
Weird, isn't it? Weird.
It's
perhaps-
Didn't I do that today?
No, well, perhaps something happened. I don't know.
I wasn't expecting the fish.
I know you weren't.
That's. Kazim is saying that. Yeah, that's.
You hear Nicholas go, "That is, you weren't expecting the fish."
I wasn't expecting the fish. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's a new one to me.
Interesting. It's a very nice barrel. How the fuck did he do that?
Called. Well, the technical term is shrinky barrel thingy. The keyword for it's a word in Draconic. They were kobolds, right? That I bought it from.
No, they were
No.
they were Kremlins.
Kremlins.
I, me, and we.
That's
No.
right. I remember their names. What the fuck is a
You.
Kremlin?
Oh yeah, you, me, and we. You, me,
I
and
am
we.
I.
Yeah, there was you, me, and we.
Yeah, so what's a Kremlin?
A Kremlin is like a goblin, but it's much smaller. They almost never go out and interact. And a lot of the time, they take things way too literal and don't understand things. And when you were talking to them and they were saying their names were me, we, and you, you assume that people were like, they were asking people's their names and they were saying like, I don't know, or we don't know, or you don't know, or something like that. And they just assumed that's what it was. That's why their name was me, we, and you don't know. They assumed their last name was don't know.
So who's on first? What's on
Correct.
second? I don't know is on third.
Correct.
Then the word is probably in Goblin. I'm gonna assume it's fish now.
Yeah, it's just the word is whatever. They told you that there was a magic word, but they've changed the word every time. So perhaps it's not actually a magic word. Maybe there's something else you do that connects with it. You haven't figured it out yet. It's just a fish barrel. It's just a barrel of fish. Fuck it.
Do you want this barrel of fish, Nicholas? I don't think I'm gonna get a use out of it anymore. If not, I'll take it. I'll figure out something for it.
I mean, if you don't need it, we could probably find a use for it. Does it always have fish in it?
I don't fucking know. It didn't used to have fish in it.
Weird.
Super weird.
I mean,
Iahme's gonna look directly at Kazim and be like, "Did
Okay.
you put all of that in my tent?"
Let me correct. There was once fish in it. I poured out the fish to double check that it wasn't always full of fish.
This whole time you're talking, you just hear this as Tammy is sitting there, just slightly giggling to himself, watching this exchange.
Tammy. Shut your damn mouth. I was expecting the fish, okay?
I'm sure
It's a beautiful. I'll be honest, Kazim. It is a beautiful item. I think it's pretty useful. It does make it much smaller.
Honestly, it could revolutionize home security.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the amount of fish that you can get from it seems limitless. It's fantastic.
There's definitely a limit on a day-by-day basis. I'm gonna guess.
Perhaps.
Who fucking knows?
Perhaps.
Okay.
You see him kind of lean over to Nicholas, and you do hear him say, "Just make sure you don't put anything too important in it, because it will smell like fish for a very long time."
I'm gonna reach into the bottom of the fish and start pulling out handfuls of gold I kept in it.
It's down there. It is down there. You kind of dig through the fish, and to the level that you filled it up before is the items that you left in there. It's just for some reason the rest of the barrel has been filled with fucking fish.
So if I fill the barrel all the way, no fish will have room to spawn. That's what I'm hearing.
It's interesting. It's weird.
Interesting.
Now I have a pile of wet gold.
That smelled disgusting.
Yeah, I can fucking imagine.
It's horrible. It's rank. And you hear Nicholas
What
go,
about
is there
the dirt bath?
is there a way to make it smaller again?
Yeah, I'll say the other word, which is
You're supposed to
teensy.
kick it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll walk up and kick it and yell teensy at it.
All of a sudden he just walks over and just kicks it and says teensy, and he just boom back down to tiny, and Nicholas goes, I mean, even with the fish, that is pretty incredible. That thing is magic. Never seen anything like that. And you just hear Tammy just go, it is interesting. Yeah, absolutely.
Tell you what, Nick, give me a couple of days. I'll come back here with a few of my guys. We'll try to make sure that your security here is up to code.
Well, we'd appreciate that very much. We want to make sure that we keep our family safe.
Turn, look at Kazim, like kind of with my face asking, do you mean that help, or...
I mean help.
Okay.
Roll for insight there, Nico.
It sucks!
I'll roll against it.
Yeah, roll for persuasion if you actually mean it, or deception, whichever it is.
I won't tell you.
Yeah, don't tell me. Just give me a number.
It's a 9-12.
7.
Yeah.
It's not passive.
So, if he beats you, does he believe you or not?
hard to read.
He's lied to you so much, it is pretty hard to be able to tell at this point.
Yeah, Nico doesn't know fucking shit when Daniel fucking lies to him. God damn it. Oh.
And then you just hear that Tammy, I'm sorry. I have also brought some wine. And you see him uncork it, and he stands up and begins pouring everyone their own cup of wine. And you see him get to Silus and goes, I'll pour you one anyway, even though I'm sure you've had your one for the day, just in case.
One for the day.
Yeah, he picks up on stuff.
You know that rule
Oh,
that
yeah.
I've had since session 1?
You think Kazim paid attention?
No.
There you go.
That's all good. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not giving it the satisfaction of a response.
Oh my god, so spicy.
You see Draxto kind of picking it up, and you just see him kind of lean back for once and almost seem to actually kind of relaxing, feeling comfortable as he sniffs this wine. Delicious. As he begins sipping it. You, Iahme, do know that he does enjoy wine, but he seems comfortable with this wine.
I'm going to send Tammy a graceful smile, and I'm going to ruffle Freya's hair. And you okay?
Karma dies. Too much, buddy?
Yeah.
Man, don't die with us!
Draxto can't handle the wine.
Jesus. That's the second time.
Drax is lightweight confirmed.
He said it was delicious before he sipped it. That's the weird part.
Yeah, right? Oh, good. When tequila goes out your nose, it like stops you from breathing.
Shocker.
It's almost like it's alcohol. It's almost like there's like 40% of it that's not designed to be consumed.
40% poison.
Well, just wait till I get the vodka. That's 50%.
There you go.
But it's 100% delicious.
Correct. Anyway, I'm sorry. Back to it. Don't mind me dying.
Anyway.
It will be like hanging like around the Crusader like a lot. Nicholas and Freya just casual, like because he's been for such a long time away from his family, like, you know, just casual like touches, like even like touch on the shoulder, or like, you know, just like bump into them like slightly, like a like one armed like side hug, and you know, just like he's so touch starved, and he just wants to be close to his family, and he is just the happiest he's been in a while. It shows. It fucking shows. Like his shoulders are just so relaxed, and he's holding his head high, and he's been recently within the group had a little bit of you know, it's harsh relationships, and he's ignoring that completely, and giving everyone a really happy smile, even Draxto. And you know, just following around with Freya, and like teasing her about his adventures and the adventures they're gonna have together, and you know, he's just making himself comfortable back at home.
What are you guys doing, the rest of you?
I don't know.
It's most of us have never been in a family situation.
Yeah.
All right, so anyway,
hold on.
Silas is really uncomfortable right now. Like, I don't know what he would be doing. Because at some point he's gonna run out of food.
That's fine. As you guys continue with your dinner and enjoying the evening, you do see that Tammy looks at Draxton and goes, I believe it's time for us to make our way out. Cresselia, the evening's been fantastic. Nicholas, thank you for welcoming us into our home. As he walks behind Freya and puts his hand on his shoulders, and you see him kind of whisper something. And Nico, you just see this big old smile come on her cheek as she kind of reaches up, gives Tammy a hug and a kiss on the cheek as he begins walking out, and goes, I will see you all again sometime soon. have a great evening. Good night. As he just kind of walks out, and he begins leading Draxto back out.
I hope, little young lady, that you'll be able to fall asleep tonight with all that excitement going for you. As Yasa like lean over Freya and kind of like hands on my hips and just look down at her.
You see her just kind of do that kind of fake. She's just pretending to cuddle up into you, but you can tell she's like easily faking it. But as you guys continue to enjoy your dinner and the friends and the family that you all have, they begin putting Freya back down for bed. I assume you guys are going to all make your ways out for where you're going to sleep for the night, as it's getting fairly late. And as we're making our ways out to where we're going to spend the next few weeks, we're going to take a break right there. What I want you guys to do is during this break, think about what you're going to be doing over this downtime, as we're not gonna do it day by day. If there's certain events you guys want to role play out, we're gonna talk about that, and we'll do like certain events and stuff. But for the most part, we're gonna kind of fast forward. If you have just kind of a general idea of what you want to do over the time, I'll kind of narrate how you'd get there. Maybe do some certain events you're gonna do, maybe some certain roles, see how well it goes. But yeah, for this break, I want you guys to think about what you're going to want to do for when we get back and kind of fast forward through this downtime. So I will be right back. Yes.
I do want team meeting, possibly.
We will do that. We will do that team meeting. I'm assuming you guys are going to do that in the morning after this dinner.
Probably, yeah.
Makes the most sense.
I want a team meeting. All right, I'll see you in a month.
So we can do that next once we get back.
Sounds good.
All right, I'll be right back. I want to put on BRB, keep you guys up on so they can still talk to you. I'll be right back.
From my side.
So, where did we all sleep last night? Nico, I know you slept at the house. Where did you guys sleep? There was like extra bedding and stuff that they were willing to get ready for you all if you wanted to stay at the house with them, which was offered to you guys. So, if you guys wanted to, or Silas, that the flow will also offer some kind of bedding and sleeping arrangements for you guys.
Well, actually, it makes sense for me to stay at the house because me and Freya have got a lesson first thing in the morning.
Okay. Iahme?
That's true.
Iahme will probably go outside of the city walls so that Draxto doesn't have to worry about people in the city and just set up her tent.
Kazim?
I'm gonna offer Silas to have a slumber party at the flow with me, but if he doesn't want to go, then it's fine. Just whatever.
You can have a slumber party with us. We can have a pillow fort.
No, I kind of don't want to hang around the kid.
Kazim.
Yeah.
For one night, for me, relax and take a night off.
Yeah, but I don't want to hang around this kid.
Why?
She called me a bird. A lot.
Oh my god.
I would feel safer with you here. You are effectively a lord now. You have property in the city.
Did I pay for that property, actually?
So you chose the free property.
Cool.
There were 3 options for you. 2 you had to pay for, and you chose the free one, which was also described as the worst and smallest.
You would also know Silas has a very basic knowledge on how lordship works.
You don't have to... There's nothing in the rulebook that says you have to pay for the property to be a lord, as long as you own the property. But I'm pretty sure that's not how this society works, so...
Silas doesn't know that.
I don't know that. I will be back. I want to do some more exploring of my new abode? ?
Purchase?
Yes. It was free 90 free.
His Louisiana purchase?
Yeah, I'm gonna go check out the warehouse.
Okay.
A bit more.
Before you go to bed that night?
Yeah, I'll make my way back to the house for Sleepy Time Junction.
All right, so you make your way
Making
back.
my way downtown.
What you looking for? Anything in particular?
Is it? I know it's in the current district. That's kind of like militaristic, right?
Yep. It seems like any what?
Any seedy characters around?
Roll for perception. It is pretty late.
Yeah, you.
Oh baby, nat 18. That's a perception, a 23.
You do see that there are a couple seem to be squatters or something in some of the buildings kind of near it. Like you see one dwarven kind of person that seems like dirty. They seem that they've been there a while, obviously living on the streets or something, just kind of sitting on one of the balconies of one of the abandoned houses and stuff, just kind of smoking his pipe. You also see that he's got a small fire on there as well as he's cooking something up on this balcony. You also see that there are some like what seem to be kobolds kind of talking in an alley, not really paying attention to you. Not really anyone you concerned about like breaking in or something, but it seems like most of the people that are living around in this area seem to be homeless or in the very impoverished kind of populace of the city.
A soup kitchen's gonna do crazy here. Yeah, prime real estate. Okay. That's exactly what I wanted to say. I'll head back to the house.
Okay. So you, as you come back, you guys notice that Silas, you see that Nicholas and Cresselia have been setting up some small bedding for you guys, kind of in the living area. You also see up in Nico's room that they've set up a small little cot for Freya to sleep in, and there's also, and you see Cresselia go, well, one of you is welcome to sleep in the living room. There are some. I put an extra bedding inside Freya's room. The two of you can share in there if you guys wanted to. It's entirely up to you.
I think Kazim and I will probably be sharing tonight.
All right. Well, there's Freya's room. She'll be up with Nico because I know there's absolutely no way I'll be able to separate her. And at this point, Freya has already passed out in that room. In the side, when you walk up into that room, you see she's passed out in your bed. She's not. She tends to be as close to you as humanly possible.
Yeah.
Iahme, when you left, you saw that she did kind of pack you small bits of snacks. She goes, in case you get hungry tonight, a little something for you guys to kind of share out there. Also, when you wake up, feel free, come on back. We'll have breakfast made for all of you. So you and your friend are welcome to come join us for breakfast as well. Even in that, I'm sorry, it is incredible. I've never seen a dragon before, and this is absolutely astonishing. He's more than welcome to stay in that form if it's more comfortable for him. He doesn't have to kind of dress up as that. I assume, he was the elf we saw last night.
Yes.
He doesn't if he doesn't want to be in that form, he's more than welcome to be as he is. He should be comfortable around here. So when you wake up in the morning, feel free to come back.
Appreciated. Have a wonderful night.
You as well. Good night. So as you guys are all setting up for your nights and your evening, is there anything you want to achieve before we go on to bed?
I would like to pray.
Oh.
Okay.
That is
In the room with
Silas.
Silas there?
Sure.
Well, so there is one thing Silas wants to do because it's a farm, right?
Yes.
Is there hay at the farm?
Correct.
I would like to, before I go to bed, make some practice targets with the hay.
Okay, go ahead and roll for... What would be a good crafting roll?
That's what I'm also thinking.
Sleight of hand, honestly.
I'm debating sleight of hand or dex.
I would make it a general.
They're both. I can tell you right now, Karma. They're both the same.
Okay, then we'll just do a general dex throw.
That's not bad. That's a 15. I'll take that.
Okay, so you're able to make like 3 or 4 kind of just basic standing kind of targets out of the hay that was back there. They're nothing too detailed or anything, but they'll do. They'll do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. Something safe to shoot at is all I want, and then I'll be going up. If Kazim's praying when I go up, I'm gonna wait outside so as to not disturb him.
Well, because it's gonna take you a minute to make those targets, so you take this time, Kazim, to kind of go into the room that was given to you. Who you and what are you praying for?
I'm praying to Lyra, my boo, my special lady, my one and only. And I don't know. I just kind of want to have a quick little chat with her.
Okay. So as you're kind of sitting there beseeching the Lady of the Mists, you just kind of feel this as you're kind of sitting at the edge of the bed with your kind of hands like this, because that's how you normally would pray to Palor, so you assume that's the same. With your eyes closed, you feel the weight of the kind of bed that you're on kind of shift as if someone has just sat on. And as you open up your eyes, you do see that there's that feminine figure of Misty sitting there. She goes, praying for me? Now that's new, Kazim.
It's a work in progress.
Well, how can I help my so loyal subject?
I'm at a crossroads right now, and I kind of wanted to get your opinion on it.
Oh? And what wisdom can I bestow upon you, young peon?
I appreciate the freedom that you grant me. I just want to get that out there.
Well, the entertainment that you provide to me is more than enough worship. It is very interesting to see the hijinks you enjoy causing. That lady with that thing with the lady in Pebblebrook, I thought that was very funny. I feel like you probably could have done a little bit more, but, you know, it was very fun to see her kind of confusion as she walked back.
I was kind of hoping that she wouldn't have kicked us out and locked the door, so that I could have stolen her.
Yeah, there were. I'll tell you right now. There were a couple other clerics that decided that they, for the light of Palor, get to take whatever they want, and she seemed to be a little bit more mistrusting of the light.
Wait, Palor?
Of course.
Palor clerics that were just taking shit?
Of course. They said they don't see it as stealing. They see it as acquiring for the mission of Palor to help fight back evil. Ha! Disgusting.
Bunch of fucking assholes. At least I just steal, right? I don't make a whole song and dance out
It's
of it.
odd how
right?
just generally stealing seems so much more honest than what they were doing. I mean,
Yeah.
But anyway,
I want to go all in on being a cleric. Drop the shady shit, right?
Oh.
I want to go all in to being a cleric to you. And of course, shady shit will be on the side.
Of
Like,
course,
the
that
idea
comes
is-
with the territory, obviously.
I don't know. Being a cleric is what I'm good at. It's what I know.
Mm-hmm.
This other stuff that I've been doing, it's just been freelancing, I guess.
I'll admit you've seemed a little lost in what you've been trying to accomplish, trying to find your place in this world.
I feel like I found it, and I want it to be in service of you, I guess is the best way to say that. I'm not good with this talking to God's stuff, you know.
Well, you could tell I find this. Speak to me as you would another being. This whole God thing has never quite suited me, and if you were to say become more of a cleric of me, I mean, there is always more that could be done.
I'm sure you know, I'm doing a soup kitchen right now.
I've noticed. Seems very altruistic of you.
I was thinking of making it like a den of thieves on top of that.
Interesting.
But that seems like a little much, right? Like,
I
there's
mean,
a lot coming up.
It would be a way to help secure some income for every time that you come visit this town. So I do see where it might be interesting, and perhaps converts a few or two to follow me, and perhaps I can help a little bit in my own way, making sure that some things have happened. But of course, there'll need to be ground rules for one such as you to be in charge. There needs to be an understanding, and I'm sure that there are some others in the city that are a bit down on their luck that might kind of look for really anything to kind of start their own new lives.
That's the idea, right? We're not trying to just be stealing shit for stealing shit's sake.
Of course
We're taking
not.
care of ourselves, taking care of each other and our community.
Of course.
And we're stealing from those fucking assholes that are making it more difficult for us to take care of ourselves.
Of course, the rich have had it far too easy, and especially some of those higher mighty than the rest of the populace need to be brought down a peg or two, perhaps.
So let's spread the love.
I think it's a great idea. What do you need from me?
Do you have any followers in town already?
I have a few, and I think I can get you in contact with some of them. Where is this soup kitchen? I could send them over, and if there's a special phrase you'd like me to tell them or something to let them know why they're there.
It's an abandoned warehouse in the current district.
Is that the place I saw you visiting before with the weird... Okay, yeah. I know the place. Is there any way that you'd like them to let you know?
If they refer to me as the Dawn Feather, I'll know.
Dawn Feather. Oh, very nice. I love that. I think we can make...
in my pocket for weeks.
I think we can make that work. I'll send them... I'll make sure I reach out to them, and while you're in town, I'll make sure that they understand what seems to really be going on here. And of course, I'd like to ask... Do you want me to make sure that they understand that you're in charge here?
Dawn, D-O-N, seems like a strong title. Godfather also seems like a strong title. I think High Priest.
High Priest.
High Priest.
Very well.
Of the Mother of Mist. What do you think?
It's got quite a ring to it. I love it.
Right?
Fantastic. Well,
yeah.
I'll make sure I reach out to them and send the message along. I think we're going to have all sorts of fun with this. Well, Kazim, keep up the good work, and I will be in touch very shortly. As she kind of caresses your cheek, and you feel that kind of mist evaporate, and you feel that's almost condensation on your cheek, as if actual mist was just touching you. As you look back up and she's gone. And Silas, you kind of walk in around this time, and you just see that small puff of what seems to be evaporating water. As you, Kazim, you hear the door open, and you kind of look over, and you see Silas standing at the door, covered in hay for some reason. Like, you see a couple pieces like throughout his armor, or throughout his clothes.
Conversing with higher beings, I see.
Rolling around in the grass, I see.
So both of us are doing what we were designed for.
Indeed.
I will speak nothing if you will speak nothing.
You should probably, like, knock the grass off at least. You don't want to get it in the kid's bed, right? Or do, I don't care.
Totally don't care.
Now, be honest with me if you weren't with the others. Were you really looking at security?
I'm not going to steal from them, if that's what you mean. I
know you wouldn't be so stupid as to do that. Tamiel would kill you with a glance.
Of course. It's not about Tamiel, though. It's like, this is Nico's family, man. I'm taking care of you guys. I'm going to take care of them, too. We gotta spread the love here.
That does pose the question, what were you looking for?
Genuinely, this place has shitty locks. I can tell by just a glance, and like that money you gave him recently, like if somebody found out about it, they could just come in and fuck them all up.
Yes, well, let us hope at the very least that your training will find them a good expert. You've always been one for gathering information.
Now, it is what I was sent here to do.
Seems like a long time ago now.
feels like it's been like almost half a year on the road, man. I mean, I know it's only been a few weeks, but it's feels like it's been like 4 times as long easily.
Well, and I mean this genuinely, as I know you're one for sarcasm. If I was going through this shit with anyone, I'm at least glad it's someone like you. You might be a shady fuck. You might have questionable choices on what your fingers and feathers stick to.
My
But you
morals are
are.
getting bolded. I'll say that.
But you are the best friend I've ever had.
You need help getting the hay off you? Like,
Should I take one of your dirt baths?
my what?
Your dirt baths that you were telling Nico about.
Yeah, but I tend to roll around in like actual, like just dirt, like a.
As I'm kind of picking some straw, I was setting up some targets for Freya. I'm gonna give her a gold coin, and have her get Nico to take her shopping, buy a few safety bolts, and I'm going to teach her how to hunt, like I promised before we left. First time I met her, she was at the archery range at the carnival, and learning how to shoot. I figured she
I remember that.
could teach her. She shot better than you, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, she was shooting way better than me.
That's just the most adorable thing.
Well,
Love you, bro. Let's hit the hay. No pun intended.
I love you too. Poor choice of words.
All right. So as we all drift off into sleep for what seems like a very long time into actual comfortable beds, Iahme, you've set up your camp a bit further out of town, far enough away that where you feel comfortable, no one's going to really mess with them, but close enough to where, you feel comfortable, you'll be able to join rather quickly in case something happens. Are you doing anything before bed?
Honestly, she's probably gonna make sure it's near somewhere really comfortable for him.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, she's lived on the island. She knows what dragons like to sleep.
Yeah. So you find a small little alcove where there seems to be a small, tiny cave that he could probably fit himself under to just kind of lay. Because he's not going to sleep in your tent just because he's fucking bratty like that.
And just to be nice, I'll leave a couple gold coins there just for enticement purposes, like enticing a cat to sleep in the cat bed. Here's some catnip. There you go. Yeah.
You see him kind of walk over as he's looking at it. He just kind of lays down. He doesn't say much to you, but as you all begin to lay down for your night, you all achieve a full rest. And as we wake up in the morning, Iahme, easily, weirdly enough, best sleep you've ever had. Ever. It's the first time that you woke up where you fell asleep. You know how you got there. You know why you're there. You look out, everything's exactly how nothing has been touched. And it's both comforting and uncomforting. This is a strange feeling of having total control over what's happening with you. You don't know how quite to respond, but that's how it is. You wake up around, because you generally sleep the least out of everybody. You wake up around maybe 6-ish in the morning, with Draxto still sleeping in his little cave, and you're hearing his loud just because he's just fucking passed the fuck out. He doesn't give a shit. But yeah, do you do anything when you wake up? You're not sure if anyone else is awake. You seeing the morning dew beginning to collect on the outside of your tent. But do you do anything as you wake up?
Honestly, she'll probably just go explore a little bit to get to know the fauna and flora. So yeah.
Well, that's happening. I'm gonna say that it's probably Silus that wakes up first. And you wake up to the Weirdly enough, it doesn't sound like Kazim is breathing. You look over, he is alive, probably. Yeah, you don't. He's flatlining.
Healing word at 5th level. I wish I had that. I would if I had 5th level spells. I genuinely would.
But yeah, you wake up to what sounds like you assume Nicholas probably getting ready for like a day's work or something, as he's woken up fairly early, and you hear the loud you hear him obviously trying to be quiet as he's beginning to try to sneak out the front door to try and get some work done in the morning. But the rest of the house falls quiet as you hear that front door kind of close as he begins going off to work. Do you do anything or just kind of lay there?
I'm gonna sneak out the room.
Okay.
And I'm gonna look in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And if nothing has been prepared, I'm cooking breakfast for the family.
Aww.
Yep, there's no one is awake. Everyone's dead asleep. You do hear what sounds to be like the collection of tools or something, and maybe some small whispering as Nicholas is collecting with some of his workers as they're going out into the field, perhaps for an early harvest or an early sowing of some different fields out there.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of start going through their kitchen, and they have it's pretty well stocked. You think to yourself of that money that you did leave with them, and obviously they've managed to keep themselves plentifully fed with some actually pretty good ingredients, as you can tell that they've gone to the market for like some fishes and for different seasonings and stuff. And you see that she's got all the seasonings you gave her separated into these small bowls for different things. But yeah, pretty much anything you can think of that you would want, it's probably in this kitchen.
I'm gonna make an assortment of sandwiches and then like a platter of smoked salmon.
Okay, very easily enough. You're gonna take a while to be cooking this kind of stuff, and as you're, getting things together and you're beginning to feed wood into the stove in the kitchen and getting the pots and stuff and getting cooking, I would say, Kazim, you probably wake up to the smell of what smells like delicious meats and salmon cooking. And you kind of rouse yourself and look over, and you see that Silus is no longer in his bed. You're hearing some kind of like rummaging through what sounds like the kitchen and stuff. But yeah, you're beginning to smell the beginnings of those meats and stuff. Iahme, by the way, while you're out there, you do see what looks to be Nicholas and a couple workers going out to different fields. As you're still kind of close enough to be able to see, but with your eyesight and perception, you're very easily able to see them going off into work. But Kazim, what do you do?
If Silus is not in bed, I'm gonna throw on my robes and walk out the door, I guess.
You go in full vestments?
Well, armor, vestments.
Yeah. By the
I've got
way,
some errands to run.
random question. Silus, do you have your stuff on you?
So I would have left all my weapons at the door.
Okay.
Let me just look through my inventory. I would have the horn on my person.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd still be wearing the brooch.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of the crossbow now. So I'd honestly say like all my sort of travel gear, I would have just left in that bag of holding, which I am suspicious of, but Silus doesn't have reason to be suspicious.
Where was it? You had it in the room with you, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm
pretty sure you had it in the room with you.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Kazim, your vestments are gone.
All right, yeah, that confirms my theories.
Can I try to find them? Can I
Sure,
look around
roll for
them?
investigation.
Yeah. +5. 19?
Yeah, they are for sure not in the room that you're in.
Buck. A duck. Okay. That's cool. I guess I'll just throw on my cloak, get attuned to that, and just continue wearing my armor.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Vestments don't matter. I can't make invisible vestments with the cloak.
Silas, did you leave the bag of holding in the room, or is it on you?
Yeah, no, I would have left it in the room.
Okay. Would you have gone through the bag of holding, Kazim?
Through his bag of holding,
Yeah.
or just mine?
Just his.
I would have gone through mine because that's where I assume I put them.
No, it's gone.
Now you're making me want to go through his.
Too late now. Anyway, as you're cooking, Silas, you see the door open and you see Kazim walking out with his armor and not his normal robes on. And Kazim, as you walk out of the room, you do notice that Silas is just kind of working his magic in the kitchen as you get hit with that delicious smell of seasonings and stuff, and you're smelling different kinds of You're smelling the eggs and the potatoes and the meats and the smoked salmon beginning to cook. Silas, you go outside and you place the beautiful slab of salmon that seems to be cooking in that underground oven that was from last night, and you decided to use that to smoke the salmon, knowing that some of the seasonings from last night will get into it and kind of give it an extra depth of flavor. It smells fantastic in this house.
Kazim, no change of getup, I suppose.
My robes are missing.
Did you check the bag of holding?
I checked mine where I put them. I guess it's possible I put them in yours.
Did you mix them up?
Maybe.
If you want to look through it, then go for it. Absolutely. Like if you steal something from me, I will just kill you. It's fine.
Well, thank you. I've actually got to be right back.
Okay. So, while this is happening, I'm going to say that Nico, you're probably waking up around this time as you kind of your eyes flutter open.
I am fucking snoring into fucking beyond.
Yeah, and as your eyes begin to kind of flutter open, you notice that there is just this smiling cheek ear to ear fucking face in front of you as Freya's just like, good morning, Nico. Good morning, Nico. Morning, Nico. Nico.
Good morning, sweetheart.
That she just hugs you and cuddles into you.
You're up early today? What is the occasion? Hi, sir.
You're home? What? I can't sleep. You're home. I'm excited. I want to play. I want to hang out. And you see her go, who's cooking downstairs? That smells so good. What is that?
Are you sure it's not just for Celia? I mean, come on. She's probably cooking.
Mom's cooking does not smell this good. Come on.
Words.
Come on.
Wait a minute.
Come on. I want to go see. Let's go.
She dragged me out.
Yeah,
like,
she kind of stands up. She's like at the end, like pulling you up, trying to get you up.
A massive bed head. It is like kind of pajama. It's literally just like a long sleeve shirt like barely hanging onto his under his frame. Pants are like so loose, they're like kind of falling off to under. So she looks miserable.
And as you guys are talking in the living room, you hear the door upstairs kind of open up, and you see Freya pulling Nico down, and you see Nico, who looks like a half asleep zombie, kind of coming down the stairs, rubbing his eyes. Hearing the conversation hearing the conversation that Kazim doesn't have his vestments on.
You guys okay? You're up really early today. I thought we were taking a day off.
You are, but me and Freya have got some work to do today. I did promise her I'd teach her.
And you see her just kind of sitting. She climbs up onto the bar stool, and you see her just kind of smirking as she pulls out that crossbow seemingly out of nowhere.
Oh my god, sweetie. Right. Shooting. Huh. Okay. Well, yeah. Cool.
We did agree that I would be the better teacher.
I mean, I can shoot for fucking shits. Let's be honest, my aim is
I'm gonna
not the
look to
greatest
Freya.
one.
I look to Freya. You might want to tell your brother to watch his language around you.
Mom talks
Right.
worse. And you hear, as soon as you hear that, you hear Cresselia open up the door and go, "What did you say, little missy?" And you see her like freeze.
That's not a winning conversation.
Nothing.
I'm gonna pick up Freya and like we're gonna like hide behind the corner. We're not
She's coming.
here.
Shh, shh. And you just, Silas, as you look over at Cresselia, you just see her kind of roll her eyes as she kind of glares at you for a second and goes, "What do you think you're doing?"
Returning the favor for a wonderful evening.
"Oh, thank God, I really didn't want to cook this morning." And she kind of slumps over and just sits down at the table as she just kind of grabs like a little bit of the meats that you're cooking. She goes, "It's so nice to have someone else do it."
Everyone's
Sorry,
favorite.
I can't cook, okay? I tried so hard. I can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I didn't
Freya,
mean to, Cresselia.
Freya, we're going to need to teach Nico how to put up a tent.
I can pull up
Ooh.
a tent. Excuse you.
I do. You could show me. I want to put up a tent. We're gonna do camping. Kazim, are you doing anything while this is all happening?
I guess I'm gonna go upstairs and check out his fucking bag of holding.
Okay. So you open up the bag of holding and you reach in thinking of your vestments and you pull out your vestments. They're in his bag.
I guess I just misplaced them.
You know, you were too drunk from the wine yesterday. Put it in the wrong bag of holding.
I guess I did.
In my defense, Josh, you gave me that bag of holding.
I turned it inside out. I thought it was safe. How was I supposed to know a bagman was living in it? I don't know a bagman is living in it. Whoop-de-doo, I'm Kazim. Ha ha ha.
Oh my god.
Vestments over my fucking armor.
Yep. As he comes back down, Silas, you notice that he's got his vestments back on as he's walking down the stairs.
Did you misplace them?
Yep. I guess I did. That's on me.
I mean, at this point, I'm
fine.
going to say that you probably see the smoke coming from their house, and you probably would take that as your signal that you're able to kind of come over and have your breakfast if you decide to join them. And you see that Draxo is still just sleeping in his little cave. He doesn't seem to have any intention of waking up anytime soon, it seems.
I will leave him in his cave, and I will head that direction.
Okay. So after a while of you guys talking, you do hear that light knock at the door.
Oh, I'm gonna get the door.
Okay. As you open it up, you just see Cresselia there. Or not Cresselia, you see Iahme there. You know,
Doppelganger.
she's in her... Are you in your green dress as you normally do?
Probably.
Yeah, in her green dress with her hair all kind of wrapped up. She looks like she looks like how she normally does, very clean, proper.
Yep. She probably washed herself up during her hunt for flowers.
Welcome in, Iahme. It's really nice to see you. Just get. I'm so sorry. I am so tired. Oh, my head. I am so tired. I need a nap. Oh, I slept amazing. It's just I didn't have a chance to sleep in for the longest of times, and I was hoping I was gonna get this one day.
Ooh. You hear Cresselia in the back go, "Nico, we actually purchased this pretty incredible thing from the marketplace. If you want to try it, it's great for mornings." You see her kind of grab what seems to be a glass bowl, almost like a glass dome. This weird kind of, it seems like an hourglass kind of thing with a piece of like paper or cloth or something in the middle of it, just where that thing cinches. And you see that there's this weird ground up powder on top as she's just kind of grabbing some water that she was boiling on the stove as she begins pouring over it. And she goes,
What
It's-
is that?
so we actually found this at the marketplace. The guy who told us told us that it like is supposed to perk you up in the morning, and it is a lifesaver. He called it like coffee or something like that.
You know what? I would not mind trying.
As you see her kind of filling up this glass bowl up with this just dark liquid, and you see her kind of grab cloth as she's pouring it into these different mugs and stuff and kind of giving it to all of you. It's just this dark fluid. It's hot, real hot. It smells fantastic, and it is some really good handmade coffee.
Okay then.
Ooh. Okay,
I mean, you've actually had coffee before.
I have.
Yeah, you just know that coffee is just one of those kinds of things that you can't have it in the morning. You also do know that it's usually pretty expensive.
She's just gonna kind of look around the house, and then look down at the cup, and then look back around and be like, and sip it.
It's very good
Like-
coffee. You've only
like-
had it a couple times, but yeah, it's good. Yeah, he said he got it imported from. You guys remember the carnival came? Apparently, he bought it from one of their importers and just bought a whole bunch of this stuff. But it is so good.
Really?
I'm trying to see if Nicholas might grow some of the plants that kind of make the beans for this. It's fantastic.
Oh, that would be amazing. It is slightly better though.
It is a little bit. I'm not too sure what we could do about that. I don't really have any sugar or anything, but once you get past the flavor of it, it is phenomenal. And it can kind of give you that energy you need in the morning.
I would trust your word, honestly. Oh, it seems like we're going to have a busy morning. Is there anything that you need helped around the house?
Absolutely. You all have had a very long time, a very long adventure. You all need to relax and hang out. I'm sure that Nicholas will be back soon. He just needed to go sow some seeds this morning, I guess, but he'll be back in a little bit and join us for breakfast. And Freya, I assume, as she's looking over at Silus, that you're going to have a little bit of a lesson today and you're going to be good, right? And you hear Freya just kind of looking at her crossbow still. What? Yes, Mom. She's still trying to pull it back, but it's just not strong enough for it.
It's alright, Freya. The first lesson's always the hardest. It'll get easier after today, I promise.
Okay.
And we'll need your help, Nico.
Oh, my help with you know I cannot shoot.
I
I don't
pull
have the air
out-
for that.
I pull out a single gold coin and give it to Freya as I'm kind of serving up the breakfast on the table.
You see her kind of grab it, and she's just kind of
Why are you
looking
giving
at it. You
us
see
money?
her shining it.
Well, a crossbow is no good without bolts. I need you to take Freya into the market and
Right.
get some safety bolts.
Safety like pointy ones, like little ones, like what are you thinking?
Safety bolts are effectively training bolts. They still hurt when you get hit by them, but
use like a stick or something? I mean, that's basically the same thing, right?
to find a stick that would fit the crossbow and also shoot the same as a bolt,
I suppose.
I could make one, but it would take me a while. Plus,
I suppose you're right.
Freya gets to practice buying her own ammo.
Sweetie. You know, sure, it's all fine. That's, you know, you're gonna be practicing how to shoot things and all that. But, you know, if you're going out on adventures, you better tell me or Dad, or, you know, you're not going anywhere alone. Understood? It is an. You have to tell us. Any of us.
We are the worst example of adventurers not going off alone.
Silas,
Yes, Iahme?
mayhaps, do you know how long your training session will be?
I know you wanted to meet with us. It shouldn't be more than an hour or so. It's just the basics on how a crossbow works.
Alright. Is there anything I can help with before the meeting?
In terms of breakfast, you can sit and enjoy.
She's gonna kind of like sassily move her head, like not stick her tongue out, but like.
As you guys are all sitting and enjoying, around the table, you do hear Nicholas kind of come back, and you see him kind of covered in dirt, and he walks over to the large tub. He's begin pouring water on his hands. He's just trying to wash off what little bit he has, and he goes, "Well, that was productive morning. Not too hot today. It seems like I don't think it's gonna rain. It seems like it's gonna be a beautiful day out today." How are we all doing? Good morning, everybody. As he kind of walks over to that bowl and he pours himself what seems to be a cup of that coffee and goes, I see that Cresselia brought out our new found find. It's delicious, isn't it? He begins drinking it.
Silas will kind of take his mug and do it all like he does. He does it all in one go.
Roll for Constitution.
Espresso shot.
30-20.
Yeah, you feel like this kind of weird jitterness kind of coming over you, where you feel like almost vibrating. Silas has never had caffeine before, so as he's sitting there, you can almost see into the future, but you're able to kind of keep it to yourself as you realize that whatever happened, yeah, and you can move 5 feet faster for the next hour and a half.
Fucking hell. He'll, like, using his palate, he'll kind of sort of, whilst he's suppressing that, he'd taste it. Could probably do with something like cow's milk to help with the bitterness.
Ooh, cow's milk, that might be interesting. We could probably also get some honey. I think some honey would be really good in it.
Also, sugar goes quite nicely.
See, we don't really have much sugar around here. Maybe we'll go down to the market. Maybe we'll see if Aaron's got some sugar down there. Oh, that's a good idea. Well, shall we eat? As Nicholas sits down next to all of you and pulls up a plate that Silas had prepared for him as he begins eating the meats and stuff like that. And goes, my God, that stuff's so good. And he's eating your potatoes and stuff. And you see him stop for a moment and kind of sniff and go, do I smell salmon?
Only the best.
And you see him kind of stand up and he kind of walking out and he goes, ha ha! Now I see another purpose for the oven. Oh, that was probably the best thing I've made. Oh, you're a genius, Silas. As he sits back down and continues eating.
Hardly. Just 2 long decades of practice.
Well, I'm glad that we're at least going to be eating like kings while you all are around.
Let's see. After the breakfast, I'm going to take Freya and we'll be on our way to the city to get the crossbow bolts.
Okay.
And Nico will look for the most dull-looking crossbow bolt you could possibly find.
Kazim, what you been up to this whole time?
I think Kazim's had a very quiet morning. Before breakfast, he's even clasped his hands for a silent prayer before he ate.
Mm-hmm.
Silent contemplation. Say
that. Okay. And I'm assuming you ate with all of them anyway, too, yeah? So
Yeah,
you had your coffee and stuff as well.
I'd be offended if he skipped my cooking, quite honestly.
So as you all are enjoying your breakfast and stuff, after a while, easily enough, Nico, you're able to find some what seems to be de-tipped crossbow bolts. They seem like they are ready to have a tip put on them, but with the tip off, they do make fairly decent practice ones, and they only cost you about like 5 silver for it. Nothing too bad for it. Yeah.
Right.
So you see that as you're walking through the town that everyone's still kind of beginning to wake up. You're seeing that the people at the marketplace are just now beginning to kind of make their way there. But yeah, you're able to find that pretty easily as you make your way back. And you're all finishing up your breakfast. Nico's walking back in with Freya as you see Freya run up to Silas and look, Silas, we found some. And she's handing you the crossbow bolt in the crossbow.
Silas will take a knee, and he will sort of bow his head towards Nico, and then he'll sort of start demonstrating like what each part of the crossbow is for and why it's important, before showing her how to carefully put a bolt in and sort of help her pull it back.
Okay, you see her.
Nico will actually just sit down there and like actually watch him do that.
You
like,
see Cresselia gotta go,
shoulder.
can we possibly move this outside? I know that we're excited. She's going to shoot it in the house.
Right.
You hear Freya go, fine. as she just kind of starts trudging outside, and you're seeing her. Come on! She's pulling it back and trying to, but then all of a sudden you hear this. Whoa! Nico, Silas, as you begin walking outside, notice that she's running towards the targets that Silas had set up and goes, "Where did these come from?"
Oh shit! I'm gonna look at Silas.
I have no idea, Freya. Must be your lucky day.
Whoa.
Oh. I'm just going to send Silas a smile.
So you guys spend the next little bit trying to, teach her how to shoot, and you can see that she's getting kind of the basics. As you guys are you guys doing anything on the inside while Cresselia is kind of cleaning up and they're playing with Freya outside? Are you guys watching? Are you guys just hanging out? What are you doing?
Iahme's probably honestly helping her clean.
Okay.
To the best of her ability.
I think Kazim wants to try out a couple new skills.
Okay. What are we trying out?
I'm gonna reach to my emblem underneath my vestments.
Mm-hmm.
My emblem for Lyra.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna try casting Remove Curse at 3rd level on that emblem of the emblem of protection or whatever it's called.
Oh, the Ring of Protection?
Ring of Protection, thank you.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for it.
Wow, that rolled a lot. Nat 17. What do I add? Wisdom?
Your the thing that your spell modifier.
21.
Okay. So you kind of sit there with the ring in front of you, and you grab that kind of emblem on your chest, and you see this kind of weird silver mist kind of go around this ring that's in front of you, and you just see it condense for a second and then dissipate. Looks like it worked.
To clarify, Remove Curse doesn't remove a curse from an actual cursed magic item. It just splits the connection unless the curse is from an outside source.
So it doesn't remove curses.
It removes curses from people or objects unless the item itself is a cursed object.
Oh, and
in which case it just severs the connection so it can be dispelled.
Okay. So yeah, it's...
Now can I try dispelling magic on the curse itself?
Okay, go ahead and... I think you have to roll for that again, don't you?
Yes.
Yes.
If this works, I'll have a really cool ring. If it doesn't, I will not.
I mean, you still have a really cool ring.
A really cool ring that makes me sleepy. That's another nat 17 for another 21.
Okay. So you begin trying kind of like holding your hand over this, and Iahme, you also notice this too. There's this weird like grayish glow coming from his hands as you're feeling, Kazim, you feel this kind of warmth kind of coming over, and you just feel this weird like small shockwave come from the inside of in the palm of your hands, and when you move your hands away, you see it kind of floating there, sparkling a little bit brighter than it did before. You're pretty confident it worked. Now describe to me what the spell magic does specifically.
It ends a magical effect or dispels the magic of an object or on a person. So you can target a specific magical effect or an object or
or a person.
Let me read you the exact wording of it. Choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range. For each spell of... For any spell of 3rd level or lower on the target ends. For each spell of 4th level or higher on the target, make an ability check using your spellcasting ability. The DC is 10 plus the spell's level. On a successful check, the spell ends.
Okay.
If I assumed it worked, then I assumed it worked, and I'll put on the ring.
Okay. So you put on the ring.
And I'll spend the next hour attuning.
Okay. All right. Well, after about an hour, you guys practicing outside with Freya, and obviously a couple missed shots and a couple close calls, teaching her some range safety to make sure that she's not pointing it at actual people and trying to hit people, as a couple close shots to you guys, and you guys begin walking inside. Kazim, you've worn this ring for about an hour. Nothing seems different.
I don't feel tired.
No?
I'm a fucking god.
Maybe.
Cool.
I want to say, Karma, I noticed your phrasing. I got you.
Fuck.
Yeah, me too.
I'm fine.
Yeah, you feel perfect. You feel perfectly fine. Nothing seems different.
Anyway,
Cool.
I think you went a step too far, buddy.
take it as you will.
Kazim is about to die.
Well,
What
I
did I
think
do?
that's the exact problem. He's gonna
The ring explodes. No.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What did I do?
Hey, look, chicken pudding.
What did I do? What did
Anyway.
I fuck up?
Anyway, Nico and Silas, you guys walk inside and you see Kazim, you see Cresselia and Iahme cleaning up the kitchen and stuff. You see Kazim just kind of sitting there enjoying his coffee, staring at this ring that's on his hand.
And like Iahme's got like her green sleeves are like pulled up, and she's like scrubbing the counter.
Well, our lesson went well enough, I'd say.
And the first step
Is-
to becoming a true huntress.
yeah, totally. Right. Do we actually need to do anything today? Or are we... Or is this it?
Iahme wants to have a word.
I mean, that's more than fine. But, we most likely will not have much downtime, so I'd recommend, we get our things together, right, and figure out what we do, right?
Well, most of my time will be dedicated to study and protecting the council.
Council?
Well, with us here, trouble will no doubt eventually follow us.
Please don't say that. I don't.
It is inevitable, so at the very least, I will be acting as an honorary member of the council's guard, or whatever they call it here.
All right.
Of course, assuming they have me.
I mean, I'll probably stand around here around the house. I'm not a fighter. I don't think that would be a good idea for me to go out there and stand guard necessarily.
As someone who isn't a fighter, you're quite good at defending yourself.
You know me. I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter.
Silas is gonna raise an eyebrow at him.
Kazim,
Yes.
what are you going to be up to?
I want to run a couple errands today, but I've got time.
And I assume you, I mean, you join us because you needed a passage to the nearest city, but do you have actual, plan?
Not particularly, no. I do want to speak to your... She's gonna look at Silas. Archduke?
Archmage Greymore.
Archmage.
Archie.
That is about it.
Well, how many I
Aside
suppose we
from-
can...
Teaching Silas more draconic, but that's...
Right. I mean, yeah, no, we can have the meeting now, I suppose, if no one has anything better to do.
I am yet to have responsibilities.
It should not take too long, but... It is best
I mean, we can...
afterward to have a drink.
we can just have a a nice walk outside. There's some real nice roads, just like for a nice yeah, just for a nice walk. Like we don't have to be sitting down around the table and discuss things.
I mean,
We can get a bit of fresh air.
I do need part of this conversation to be in my tent, but it is
Oh,
outside.
in your
walls.
tent.
Yes.
All right. Cordelia, I like I kind of like put my my hands around like Freya's shoulders. We'll be out for a bit. We have some business to attend to. We'll be back.
Okay. And you hear Cresselia go, that's fine, dear. We'll be here.
Yeah.
We'll be around. I'll make sure that she's busy but ready for when you all get back. Be safe. We'll be around, and you better be
Actually-
back tonight.
I am planning. I am absolutely planning
Okay.
back tonight. I actually do have a little bit of a side quest for you, love Freya.
I get a quest.
Mhm.
Mom, I get a quest. Oh, that's nice, sweetie. Oh, okay.
I have
Then you see her kind of perk up, and she goes, "What do you need, my lord?"
Oh, my young squire, I would simply require you to make sure that you keep log of your adventures and write down a report for me to read of my next available leisure time that I'll be going over thoroughly and grading your success over the many weeks that I've been away from the castle.
It will be done. As she begins walking off to go try and find paper and pen. I think
All right.
you see Cresselia go, I think she's really gonna love doing that. It's gonna be fun.
I sure hope so.
Well,
Well, guys,
we'll be here. Be safe and have fun with whatever you guys are doing, and let me know if you guys need anything. And you see Nicholas sitting back and goes, "Have a great day, you all. Enjoy the weather while we have it."
we'll definitely try to.
I pray your crops are fruitful.
I appreciate
Hey,
that.
Kazim, you cleric. You could probably do a like nice prayer, right? You are a cleric after all, right?
Yeah, I could do a prayer. Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, why don't you bless this household for me?
Palor above, bless this house.
Roll for
Give
deception
them-
with advantage.
With advantage,
With advantage.
7.
Wait.
Is that a total of 7?
Did you say 7?
7
Total?
total.
Yeah, 100%. Y'all, he's obviously putting on it for sure. Hey, Paylor, if you could just go ahead and, bless this house and shit. You see Cresselia and Nicholas just kind of look at each other and go, what the fuck is... What is happening? Kazim, you can tell none of them are buying this shit.
Kazim.
Uh,
Right. Well, we have business to attend to. We gotta go back. like hurry them out of the house.
Okay.
Dear God.
So you
My
guys,
prayers are even better than that.
so you guys are heading out
Even my
to...
prayers, I better.
You guys are heading out
prayed
to the tent?
Walk to the tent.
All right, so as you guys are adventuring forth towards the tents, it's not too far out. It's a couple 100 feet out. You guys notice that Draxto is just kind of walking around. You can see he's like hunting for something, perhaps, or he's just kind of doing his own thing as you guys begin walking towards the tent.
Before we do this, I do want to ask, do you all hold secrets from each other?
constantly. Yeah.
I mean, try not to, not really.
Well, what I want to do may perhaps open the door just a crack to a couple of the not so white lies. But it is a better way for me to offer some sort of assistance and for me to open the door and ask if I can join you on your quest.
I mean, our quest is no secret.
I know
Half the
that.
city knows about it.
That's not the secret that I'm worried about would be shed. What I intend to do, with your permission, is open our eyes to each other so that not everything will be brought to light, but to better understand each other so that mayhaps I don't offend you all as much as I appear to have been.
Alright.
Just do what you need to do.
Which is the exact reason I wish to do it in the tent, because I can lock the tent, and only we will have access to each other.
If things go south,
It is not deadly, I promise.
right. I mean, I've got no issues with that.
It is something done to better a bond between multiples? Yes. That's the best way to put it.
I'll lead the way then.
If you wish to sit out, you're more than welcome to stay outside of the tent. That will not bother me at all. And if you
Who,
wish
me?
for Tamiel to stay outside, that is fine. If you wish for Draxter to stay outside, I'm pretty sure he's just going to mess about the way he does.
I have no issues being there at all. I just worry that some of our previous conversations sometimes have railed up some of us a bit more than we would have liked to admit, and things sometimes go south very quickly.
Indeed.
I'm just, well, I've got no issues with being inside the tent.
Actually, if you would like to ask, Tamiel may actually know what I intend to do.
No?
If he wishes
Like-
to take part.
Nico have like this quizzical look at his face as he's reaching out in his mind and asking for that specifically.
Just ask him about the lily.
The lily.
In the back of your head, Nico, you do hear this. Interesting. It appears that she's brought along some dream lilies with her. Perhaps it might be interesting for, at least at the very most, some entertainment and some insight into what has been going on. It might be fun.
He makes it sound so
Alright.
sketchy.
It's Tales of Ethyl, there's always a twist.
Everything is fucking sketchy.
Like there's always unforeseen consequences to our actions. It's D and fucking D.
Yeah.
Hey.
So
Just
for
learned that today.
out of character moment, this is something that Karma and I just randomly decided to create.
It was a great idea. It's gonna be fun.
Hey,
so,
let's go.
So when she gets to the tent, she's gonna open the curtain and wave to see who all enters.
Silus goes in.
Okay.
Yeah, Nico goes in, no issue.
Fuck it, I'll go in too.
Okay.
Karma, is Tammy going to be included in this?
Nope.
Okay. She's going to offer for Drexto to see if he wants to be involved.
You see him just kind of look towards you, but then he just kind of goes back to hunting. He doesn't seem interested.
Okay. Cool. All right. So 4-person party in the tent. Got it.
So, as you guys begin walking inside, you notice that the tent looks pretty much the same as most of you remember, with the kind of pillars. And you see that there is that small, what looks to be fire in the middle, which, I mean, you would be throwing it into that. That's how you're going to make this work. Yeah. You all sit down as she instructs you to all sit across from each other. And she pulls out this beautiful silverish flower, almost. It's a lily.
I will explain to them where it came from.
As she tells you that It's called a dream lily that comes from the main Isle of the Sems in the Dream Pond gardens. It's very rare, and it causes, for lack of a better term, group hallucinations of past events.
Hey, I mean, I appreciate the offer. I don't know if I'm down for psychedelics, man.
I promise you, it's not as bad as it may sound.
It's more of a personal thing. I don't want to get like, I don't know, visions of my dead family members.
You will be fine, I promise. It is very simple to escape when one needs.
I'm not a psychedelics guy, dude. Like,
you did enter the tent of your own free will.
I didn't know we were getting drugged, man.
It's not really a drug.
She explains it to you as it's a ceremony that most like groups do together to kind of get a better understanding of certain events. They usually can be controlled as to what they're going to be seen. Sometimes they can't be though, but it's seen as a bonding exercise for groups usually in her religion.
To be clear, we are burning a flower.
Correct.
It sounds like a drug. We're getting hallucinations together by burning this flower and hotboxing a tent. Tell me what I'm missing.
It's the guy who has manipulated his way to the top has an issue with this.
Yeah, drugs is where he draws the lines. Murder, extortion, bribery, thievery.
Murder implies it was premeditated.
She's going to look Kazim dead in the eye and be like, panic beforehand makes you lose control. As long as you
That's the worst.
That's the worst thing to tell somebody right before they're...
That is the worst thing to ever say to someone they're just about to trip.
You're panicking right now? You're making it worse.
No, she's going to kill him. So, if you wish to leave, I have not said the word. The tent is unlocked. There is no need to panic. If you would like to miss out on the opportunity to bond with your travel mates.
That's manipulative as hell, man. All right, I'm gonna look to Silas. Are we doing this?
I am comfortable with this. If you're not, I understand.
As Silas, something kind of like this happens with the orcs. It sounds very familiar. It just seems like a bit more of a Big Brother version of it.
Yeah. We orcs perform a similar ritual in the sense of there are flora in the forest that we burn, and it produces a sense of euphoria for us and allows our ancestors to speak with us. And it is not an illusion, it is their spirits giving us knowledge. Often, the most common use of it, at least for my clan, was when the clan was going to settle in a new location, they would perform the ritual and the ancestors would guide them. It is how we found ourselves in this forest next to River's Run. Similar in nature, but obviously this seems a little more intense.
We can back out at any time.
You can back out now if you'd like. I do not recommend being here when it starts, inhaling the effects, and then leaving.
You can't just end the effects. It's not like a willing thing. It's like once you're in, you're in.
The effects do not last long, but...
I'll offer my hand to Kazim.
What if it's like poisoned or some shit,
it's
man?
It's not poisoned, I promise you.
How do you know?
Because I've done this before. Twice, actually.
She also does explain to you that this is like probably the most regulated thing out of the Isles of the Sem, so to have it is an absolute miracle.
All right, fuck it, we're in.
All right.
Take Silus again.
She's gonna look over at Nico and be like, Nico, the other day Tamiel offered you his pipe.
He did do that. Is this going to be similar?
In some ways, but if you would like to be a little more relaxed, it can help you through the ways. If you would like to ask him for that again. You can. It doesn't have to be.
Oh, believe me, I chuckled anyway. So, like,
we crossfade.
It'll help, like, to her, in her mind.
Turns out she's just from a hippie commune.
Dragons breathe smoke, man. You gotta know why.
You call it the Alta de Seb, I call it Florida.
Nico, within your hand, you do feel that kind of weight of the pipe just kind of showing up.
You can ask him what he would see appropriate for you.
Can I have a pillow?
You do hear also say, I can join you if you'd feel more comfortable.
It's fine. It's got this. I've got this. It's cool.
Absolutely. And all of a sudden, behind you, another pillow seems to just kind of apparate.
Yeah. There should be like a shit ton of pillows.
Yeah,
in there
there's a fuck ton. One
It's
just kind
my
of
emotional support pillow. Okay.
And this is for sure 100% not illusion magic. This is just like medicinal herbs,
Yes.
for lack of a better term.
Karma and I have. It is a flower that you put in a goddamn fire and you suffer the consequences.
It's
That is what
pot.
it is.
It's pot. You're just
No,
describing
it's
pot.
peyote. It's not pot. This is way stronger than pot. What
feel like
Nico
it's
is
worse.
smoking currently is pot.
We have to put a content warning on this now. You know that, right?
No, we don't. I have some.
Content warning.
Peyote?
Yeah, no, it's not. No. If I was actually smoking peyote, yeah, then I'd have to.
Okay.
But talking about it, no, we'll be alright.
Yeah.
Just pull out my peyote pipe.
Yeah. That's a great segue to this episode's sponsor.
Running water's peyote. Anyway.
All right. Are we all agreed?
Yeah, no, of course.
It's gonna be great.
I'm the only one with any trepidations, any worry that this could go wrong.
It's not gonna go wrong. It's gonna go interesting.
Dyer has no idea how Karma has this planned out.
Nope.
She just knows there's a flower that does this shit, and she knows that the character knows what it does.
Yep.
You can hear the grin in the way he talks. You can see it on his face. This is gonna go wrong.
It's not gonna go wrong. It's gonna go interesting.
Josh, where it's gonna go wrong is we're gonna see something that someone here doesn't want us to see.
Let me lore dump, goddammit!
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking let them do his
That's
shit.
exactly what
Fine,
this
let's
is exactly
do it.
a lore dump. All right.
Ah.
She's gonna look at Nico and kind of like wave her hand to see like if you want to smoke now.
Oh yeah, he absolutely he's cuddling his pillow and he's smoking. Let's fucking go.
Roll for Constitution. Constitution saving throw.
You fucking 20 bitches.
All right.
Fuck off.
Nico takes his long, dragged out puff of this pipe and just starts putting out these O's out and into it, and you see him just kind of relax.
Smokes one time and now he's all cool.
Honestly, she's going to look at him and be like, "May I?"
And I just pass it on.
Yep. And you can tell that Nico, like, it's not that he's super cool and comfortable with it. It's just he expected it. He knows he knows what he's doing now. He's done it before. Iahme, you've done this 1,000 times. You don't need to do a con save.
Cool. Anybody else?
That will nullify the effects.
It won't nullify the effects. It will help relax you so that it's not as taxing on the body.
Then I have no interest in it.
Okay.
Give me a fucking head of it. It better relax me, I swear.
All right.
She's gonna give it and then offer it back to Nico.
Kazim, roll con save with disadvantage.
Okay. Oh, it can only get worse then. 7.
Oh shit. Actually, you know, I changed my mind. Instead of for disadvantage, roll for emphasis. So whichever is further away from 10.
That's right. Hey.
You want me to roll again?
Yeah, roll it again. Whatever's furthest away from 10.
It's lower. It's a 4.
I love it.
I rolled a 3 and a 12.
Because he takes a big old rip and just halfway through.
This is actually stressing me out.
Yeah. No, Kazim, you are fucking laxed. Unfortunately, you are having such a hard time keeping your eyes open. You are just like, dude.
Kazim's flying. Josh is locked right now.
Kazim is having like legitimate like shower thoughts. Like, why is it called a parkway when we drive on it? You ever notice that? You ever notice how?
Hold on. But why is it called a driveway when we park on it?
You see, why are bananas shaped that way?
And then there's also, why do some people call it pavement and some people call it a sidewalk?
Fuck off!
Anyway.
Who calls it
flower?
So, Kazim, with you nice and relaxed, Iahme takes that beautiful silver flower, and it looks like it looks almost made out of metal as she drops it in there, and you see it begin to slowly start burning and crystallizing as you see this beautiful like glitter effect coming across the smoke as you all begin to kind of sit there. Okay. Ooh, this is gonna be interesting. As you all are breathing in calmly, sitting there, you notice that the walls around you seem to almost dissipate as they begin becoming a bit darker, made out of stone. As you realize that you're no longer in the tent, you seem to be in the middle of this alleyway. Nico, you recognize this alleyway as an alleyway of Earthrus, where you used to meet your friends a lot. It reminds you a lot of this one corner where, after you would be sneaking out, would meet up with your friends. Let me pull up their names. I don't want to fuck up their names now.
Also, just for context, I did lock the tent before I...
Yes,
Lindell and Zorn.
Okay, making sure that's in there.
What were they again?
Lindell and Zorn.
Lindell and Zorn, that's right. So, as you all are just kind of walking around, looking around, it seems so real and textual. As you just hear, "Come on, Tamiel, let's go!" As you guys turn around and you notice a small elvish girl and a small orcish boy and an Asimar with let me look at this, with blonde hair, right? I think so.
Completely like white, blonde, like very like light hair, yes.
But like tan skin.
Sure.
Seems more just this, maybe about 8ish, 7 as they're walking down the streets playing. Yeah. What do you guys do? You guys are just kind of here as you see those 3 children running down the alleyway.
Nico will be standing there, just staring with like wide eye, just like holding like his hand across his mouth and just watch them run away.
Iahme will, like, seeing his reaction, she will take his other hand. And kind of, like, lead him to follow them.
How's Kazim feeling?
I'll say that, like, as at first he was just kind of petting the wall to see if it was real, which, yeah, it 100% feels real. Whoa, dude. But then you kind of notice that Iahme is walking over to Nico, and you're beginning to kind of start getting that sense back of where you are, realizing that, okay, you are still with them. You didn't notice the 3 children, though.
Damn.
I noticed the kids, right?
What was that?
I noticed the kids.
Yes,
right?
you do.
I heard what they said.
Yes, you did.
I'm profiling the fuck out of Blondie.
Okay.
I will probably have knowledge of if other people can hear us, or if it's just the four of us able to talk to each other.
You know that these are memories. They're not like you're not visiting another realm. So you know that you will. It's essentially just going to give you information that you don't really necessarily have an effect. You can like when you grab things that are there, the thing will still be there in the memory, but you'll also have it in your hand, kind of thing. To where you can pick things around, you can interact with stuff, but generally you can't really ask questions or nothing that the person who's having the hallucination and sharing it doesn't know can't be found out, essentially. But that does give a chance to like find out things that perhaps they caught subconsciously.
Okay. She will kind of quietly relay to them, we do not affect their reality. This is a memory. If you touch something or take something from someplace in their memory, it is still there. You just hold what would be a copy of it.
I am going to take a couple steps towards them, and I'm I'm going to follow the children. A bit fast paced, almost, as they seem to be moving away, almost like catching up to them.
Okay. As you begin walking down the alley, following where they were going, or the rest of you joining?
Yeah, I'm following. And I'm kind of like keeping my eyes on the boy, but trying to guide Kazim along as well.
Kazim's just kind of like holding on to Silas's arm, like, ooh.
Biceps.
As we continue moving forward through the alleyway, you notice that it is weirdly detailed. All of you roll for perception for me.
Hell yeah.
Dirty 20.
Ooh. 18 total.
Okay.
17?
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's a 21. Yeah, 21.
As you're walking down the alleyway, you do notice that there are a couple other offshoots and stuff. And Nico, all of you notice that down one of the alleyways is this kind of old man with a shopping cart that seems to be just kind of hidden in alleyways further down, which, Nico, you do recognize. And you know he wasn't. You don't remember seeing him there, but you do recognize that man. It's exactly who. Hopefully, it's the person you think it is.
I know. Yes, I know who it is. I'm just going to. He would just like stop like dead in his track, like looking between the children and the man at the cart, and like he's torn. He doesn't know where to go. The children are running away, and
she's gonna gently squeeze his hand and be like, whichever path you followed is the one that we will follow. You may not know what happened, therefore it will fade.
I'm going to take a couple steps towards that merchant, and if it seems to be fading or so, I'll turn my way back towards the children. But
as you do,
Nico wants to take a look.
As you do begin making your few steps towards the merchant, you do hear from behind you, and all of you will hear this and be like, "No, I don't want to go. I want to play with my friends," which sounds like, Nico, you know who's saying that.
Yeah.
As you take a couple more steps towards the merchant, you do notice that around the wall you can't see anything other than kind of the basic stones as you've been over there, but not enough to have it pressed in the memory exactly what was there that day. But as you walk around, as you get closer, you do notice that you have very clear pictures of the cart, except for when it goes past the old man. You notice that it kind of begins to kind of go smooth and just kind of like your brain is kind of trying to fit in things that you're not sure are there. The man is clear as day, though. And so is the thing on his so is the thing on his cart that you do see.
Yeah, I'll look him. Like, I know he can't see me. I will look him dead in the eye and just reach for the. I'll reach for it.
Okay. Are you guys all watching this? Or are you going anywhere else?
I don't fucking know, man.
Because you do
Saying
hear
what?
also in the background, "No, Dad, no!" As you pick up the necklace. Will 3 of you besides Nico roll for perception?
18.
16.
Nat 1.
So Iahme and Silus notice that he picks up off the cart the necklace that's around his neck.
How did you? Since then?
As you are sitting there thinking, you notice that around you is beginning to fade.
I'm like, I'm almost like going to like take the necklace and like kind of hold it like to my chest as I used to do with my necklace, and I will just like rush it, like just like look around, see where the children are, and
you would remember
I'll-
you would remember based on what you have heard that you're being, they are in the streets that's around the corner and one of them is being taken away.
I'll make my make my way down the street, like Nico, he's not necessarily paying any attention to you guys. He's very much focused on the 3 children there, and he's just going to see what is happening.
Are the 3 of you following?
Yeah.
Okay. As you follow behind you, go out through one of the alleyways where it seems, as you see, the closer you get to wherever Nico's going, the more detailed everything seems to get, as if following along seems to make it more detailed along as you go. And as soon as you come out of the alleyway, you notice that there is the small orc and the small elf sitting there, as the elf is trying to help the orc off the ground, who seems to have a bloody lip on the side. And as you look down the street, notice that the small blonde ASMR is being dragged away by a much larger, taller ASMR in a black coat, or black coats, and there seems to be a guard with him as well. And you hear the young ASMR crying, "No! I want to play with my friends! No! You hurt him!"
I'll be staring like death glare at the dude in the black cloak. Like a cold death glare.
All of you, will 3 of you roll for insight?
I was gonna say, I feel like I pick up on what's kind of going on here. Well, that's what.
18.
14.
Iahme?
I got a 15, so.
Weirdly enough, so all 3 of you can tell that Nico is focusing on the tall ASMR in black. Kazim, you have this weird hunch that that's Nico that's being pulled away as a kid. You don't know why, but you have a feeling that is.
Iahme's gonna squeeze his hand gently and ask him, "What is this? Talk to us about it so that we can understand."
It's just 3 friends trying to have a life, trying to have a normal life, and be around each other. I'm going to kneel next to the orcish child.
Real quick, before you do, I want you to roll for perception.
Oh. It's a natural 20, total 20.
Okay. I'm trying to think if I need to say this out loud or if I should just message you what you see.
Yeah, but I'm going to just kneel down, and I'm going to, with like a very soft, like caring hand, just brush over the hair on the orcish child, and almost just with my other hand, just take this little piece of hair that's always in front of the elf's face that always just gets out of her braid and put it behind her ear. Try to put it behind her ear as he's watching the men walk away, and he's just staring longingly at the child being taken away. They were just children.
Who is
Karma,
he?
is there anything that I notice about the little girl? Because I don't know much about orcs, but I know some about elves. So
Nothing too particular. She definitely doesn't seem familiar to you at all. She just seems like maybe, lower class, if that makes any sense. She's definitely not rich by any means. What were you gonna say, Nico?
No, I was gonna just ask what she said because I didn't catch it.
Yeah. There's nothing too particular. You just see that the little girl is brushing off the orc, and then obviously you notice that they begin as the taller man and the smaller Asmar begin walking away. You notice that there's this wall of what seems to be fading coming from behind them.
Silas said something.
I was talking to myself out loud, sorry.
Now I heard you. I know what you said. Say it again.
No, that's me thinking to myself out loud.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm trying to figure something out.
They were just children, Iahme. Trying to live their lives.
The wall is coming. Would you like to continue?
Let's move on.
She's gonna kind of offer her hand out to him to help him up.
I will take it.
Kazim's just silently tripping balls.
Yeah.
And yet he has got the best insight on the situation.
Yep.
Yep.
Drugs
I told you this shit
stress
helps,
Josh
man.
out. This is hard. This is a hard line here.
Alright, Karma. What's
One
next?
second.
You're fine.
Also, I'm a little tipsy, so if I start passing out, forgive me.
No forgiveness.
That's all right.
Stop drinking.
As you guys continue walking down the street, following along that group, you notice that what seems to be the older Asmar and the younger one is dragging this other one behind down across this bridge almost to what seems a much larger house as they're being escorted by a guard, and the whole way crying, "No, let me go see them! What? No, I don't want to!" As they're being pulled into the mansion. You're seeing that, as they're walking by, it seems people are just kind of just getting out of their way. No one seems to try and interfere or enter at all. And as you begin walking across the bridge up to the house, you notice what seems to be a banner it's a purple banner, a dark purple banner, like a royal purple banner, with what seems to be this emblem of a crow, perhaps a crest of some kind. And as they begin walking to the door, you just hear this, "Let him go!" And you turn around and you see that there is that small elf girl again. And looking back towards the door, Silas and Kazim, both of you roll for perception for me.
Not 20.
Oh, 11.
Okay, Silas, you notice that the taller Asamar is one that you saw in the basement when you guys were in River's Run when the doppelganger was talking to Nico, and the one that threw Nico off for a second.
Your father. Am I presuming right? from our previous engagement?
He is no father of mine.
Which would make that boy you.
Did he hurt those kids?
He would never put his foot in the lonely streets of the city. He would never make the walk himself.
As you're asking that question, you do notice that he's trying to still get the kid inside as he's moving towards the guard towards the elf, and you see the guard begin walking forward and with his spear kind of hitting the child and pushing it towards the other end. Goes, "Go on, get! You're not supposed to be around here. Go!" Obviously using a bit more force than he should be with a child.
Oh, Nico flinches and he
And you do
almost
hear
wants to reach out.
you do hear the ASMR kid yelling out, "No, you're hurting her! Leave her alone!" as the door closes.
Some strong shit.
Right. So strong shit.
As you're kind of sitting there, noticing that the fade is beginning to kind of come around all of you, Iahme, you do know that this was usually when the effects are beginning to wear off.
She's gonna tell us it won't be much longer. Fine.
Yeah, before they completely wear off, I would like to walk up to Yasimar. So I'm going to walk up to him and I'm going to stare him down in his face. And I'm going to send him a smile. A cold, cold smile. And I'm going to lean over his shoulder. And I'm going to whisper something in his ear. And yeah. And I will send it to you.
Interesting. All of you roll for insight.
18.
22.
I got dog ass. No.
Okay. Iahme and Silus, you see when Nico walks up, if the frame almost seems to kind of stop. Almost as if he's actually making eye contact with this. Which, I mean, you've seen it happen every once in a while, but generally it doesn't happen very often, where it seems like he's a little bit more lucid of a dreamer than other people, where you have heard people that are doing this, sharing their hallucination, can kind of, to an extent, control what's going on. And you see him just kind of lean over to this character and whisper something, and you swear both of you see this ASMR just kind of shudder for a second. And I mean, you've never seen that. Where it seems like almost a response.
Do I see the smile on Nico's face?
You do. Yeah, and it's cold. It's not happy. You can tell that there's something sinister there.
Is it... What I ask, is it familiar?
It's not like Tammy's.
Not what I mean.
No.
Familiar to me. But as though something that I would have felt before.
Yes.
That's what I needed.
She's gonna walk up and kind of like gently put her hand on his shoulder and be like, "It's done.
And as you
Whatever happened here isn't going to happen again."
As you all are kind of standing next to each other, you do notice that everything starts to slowly kind of fade away as you begin seeing the walls of pockets beginning to form back around you, as you see the last small ember of the dream lily begin to float up and out through the top. And you guys are back in the tent, and all of you feel fine. Kazim, you have some semblance of feeling yourself again. But, yep, the effects have worn off. None of you feel any grogginess or anything like that.
How many more do I have left?
You have... I think we decided you have 4 left. I think I gave you 5.
She's going to look at them and be like, do we want more?
Not right now.
Oh, are you sure, Kazim? I'm sure it could be quite insightful.
There was a lot. I don't know if I'm ready to go through my past, man.
Do I know if there's a way for me to, like, force mine to come out instead of theirs?
You do know that you can be telling a story, and it generally will help. If it's a true story, while you're as descriptive as possible, it can generally help it go towards something that you're specifically trying to show.
Okay. She'll kind of relay that, be like, I can try my best to guide it in my direction, if that comforts you. For you all know very little about me.
And you about us. If we're going to do it again, I say it would be unfair to put any single person under the spotlight.
I'm used to the spotlight, Silas.
I mean, you do know after consecutive uses that because it was Nico last time, that it's dropped down, that it's probably not going to be Nico next.
Yeah. It will choose one of the 3 of us. It doesn't like repeating itself. And I can guide it to the best of my ability. Which will make it more likely to choose me.
There's no harmful side effects, right? This isn't going to come bite me in the ass, is it?
You can roll for medicine or for insight or, perception, actually. Roll for perception.
Would you like me to roll to help with that knowledge?
Yeah, you can roll for medicine with advantage.
Perception?
Yeah, perception.
25.
Yeah, you feel perfectly fine. You do feel a little tired, but you assume it's from the pipe rather than it is from the Dream Lily because you got a real big hit from it.
I got the same. I got a 25 as well, so.
Yeah, you know that generally there aren't many side effects, as whatever side effects are going to be from the psychological point.
Mainly it'll stress you mentally if you're worried about that.
This is stressing Josh out.
Karma wants the lore dump, Josh. Come on.
Again. I'm Kazim. Let's go again.
Drugs.
All right, so I will say
I'm not partaking of the other pipe this time.
we have the option of doing our questions like we were going to, or we can go try and start through because they are pretty long for me to describe them. So I can't do another one, or we can save it for the beginning of next session.
Save it for the beginning.
Okay. Then I say we will, as you all are kind of retaining all of that information that you've got from that interesting deep dive down Nico's mind, I think we're going to end it there. That was intriguing, I will say. Holy shit. But before we get started and before we end and we play the theme song and I say all of our goodbyes and stuff, I still have a couple questions from Seb. And like I said, if we were going to take a couple minutes at the end of every episode to answer any questions that someone have. So I'll ask one question from Seb real quick. I think he put in a new one as well. Because if you guys don't know, in our Discord, I'm going to put it in there. There is a channel for you guys to ask questions for the cast. And I'll be, picking stuff through there every once in a while. And so Seb's question is, what is everyone's favorite magical creatures? Players and characters both.
Ooh. Oh, that's a cool one.
Magical creatures.
Mine's Kremlins. They're fucking sweet.
Honestly, it depends on the version of D&D for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'd have to limit me to a version.
For Silas, it'd probably be something like a hippogriff.
Hippogriffs are good. Those are really
Because,
cool.
like, A, he respects how majestic they are, and B, it's like, if you can hunt hippogriffs, then you are, like, a master of your craft. But for Zephyr, it honestly, I think it's a mimic.
Ooh, mimics are good.
That's a good one.
Because of
Good
just
one.
how, like, I've got some plans for mimics in my games. So, like, just how much you can do with them. Because they can be anything.
I myself. Oh, sorry, Kazim.
No, go.
Josh. Very easy. Myself, I'm a dragon person. I am absolutely a dragon person. But Nico is actually a fan of Displacer Beasts.
Displacer Beasts are pretty sweet.
Yeah. Oh, I fucking love them. He loves them too.
I don't know if D&D has them, but in Pathfinder, there were these fairies that had like cricket legs almost, or like grasshopper legs, so that they could chirp or like a tune with their legs, and that would charm their opponents.
Creepy. I love it. Those are going to be a thing now.
They were chaotic good. I don't remember the name of them for the life of me.
Well, I'm going to find out.
That's my Josh's favorite.
They're going to show up at some point, because that sounds cool as shit.
Kazim, it's probably just the idea of familiars. It just seems sick. Like a fae creature that's just like vibing.
Just chilling. He's cool.
Bitch, you don't like my familiar?
Familiar is a whole ass guy.
I was just like, you're familiar.
Kind of a dick, too.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you want to know something odd, probably for Iahme, the weird creature that she would be like most intrigued by would be the Death Kiss. Do you know what the Death Kiss is?
Oh, I can.
It's
Yeah.
the
that
baby
beholder, right?
It's the baby beholder.
It is not a baby. It's got those long tendril arms.
It is a lesser beholder.
Gross.
I've got a card of a Death Kiss in Magic the Gathering. It's awesome, and it's terrifying to play with.
I'll even read the description. Hold on.
They're spawned by nightmares, aren't they?
Well, that's how all beholders are born, is through another beholder's dreams.
So, a Death Kiss is a lesser beholder that can come into being when a true beholder has a vivid nightmare about losing blood. Its coloration and shape resemble those of the beholder that dreamed it into existence, but its hue is more muted, and instead of magical eye rays, it has 10 long tentacles, each ending in a mouthful of teeth. It can speak through those tentacles in a high-pitched, nasally voice.
Creepy.
There's
In
more.
Magic the Gathering, it doubles the power of one of your creatures when it attacks one of your opponent.
That's creepy as shit.
Yeah.
Real creepy.
Yeah.
Well, I made just fight one once.
It lacks the combat finesse and intelligence of a true beholder, but in most cases it simply latches itself onto prey with one or more tentacles and drains the blood until the prey collapses. I can't read.
Effectively, it's a beholder vampire.
Illithids, though, those guys are kind of sick, actually. I can get down to mine.
I'm a fan of Eldrazi, honestly. Oh, the world eaters. Yeah.
That's what I kind of want to lean in with that, like, pirate one shot we were running.
I like doppelgangers too.
Doppelgangers are pretty cool.
I could not have seen that coming.
All right, we'll do one more before we end it off here. This one's from actually our one and only Josh. When did y'all start your individual D&D journeys? So I'm gonna take that as, what was the first campaign you guys ran?
Maybe not ran
or wit with.
Oh.
Mine was. I'm gonna go ahead and spoil everything. I started D&D when I was like 8.
Yeah.
So, actually, no. Technically, I was part of my parents' campaigns when I was an infant. I got to roll the dice, so it's
sweet.
That definitely counts.
You better do that with Espinal.
The first actual.
I'm gonna have a little chair right here for him.
The first actual campaign that I was in, I think I was 7 or 8, and I was a fairy, and that's when I was telling you all, like, I tied the string to my waist to the ball of yarn, and then tied the other end to the post, and I pushed it, and I rolled myself. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
you
that.
flattened yourself.
Yep, that was so cute.
Aww.
I think my first long form campaign, I played a dwarf fighter called Bjorn the Mighty, and his whole thing was like, say he kills a creature, like he is like, right, now I need to find something bigger than that and kill it. And so he would work his way up to, like, I think we ended the campaign with killing like a vampire titan or some shit.
Ooh.
But yeah, that was when I was 14? 13 or 14, one of the two.
What about you, Josh, huh?
I started playing fairly recently. It's only been within the last five or so years.
Mhm.
I had just turned 17. I was still in senior year. And some work buddies were running a game, and I had always wanted to be a part of D&D. I had already started like learning how to play, but I was terrible. So they invited me one session, and they were playing Tomb of Annihilation, I want to say, which is a hell of a module to jump in without knowing what a D20 is. Anyway, I got my ass rocked. I think I went through like 7 characters, and then everybody just started moving apart.
Fair.
Well, in regard to that, I am also actually kind of a late bloomer when it comes to D&D in general. I was once I got into it, extremely quick learner, but I was a late bloomer. My first campaign is actually the one that Seven I played in. I had a necromancer, Faye, the Gil, she was called, and she ate babies. Because
Of course she fucking did.
kind of Baba Yaga style.
Of course she fucking did. It's you. Why did I expect anything less?
She was my first character. And she had this familiar, like a crow with 2 heads, and she called them Hugin and Munin. And I fucking love them. I fucking love them. Yeah, a little undead crow baby.
You're a weirdo.
Seb limited me to 5e on my character selection, so I chose either the Warg or the Genosphinx.
So I would say when I first started, I want to say I was like 8 or 9. I don't remember what specific class I was. I remember it was 3rd edition, and I remember I was some kind of spellcaster, because I remember killing myself while being attacked by a mimic using lightning bolt, because this is back when lightning bolt bounced off surfaces. So I killed myself. That was my first like dungeon run, I remember.
Oh my god. I love that. I love the feature. It is fucking cool.
I've been debating bringing it back.
Do it.
Do you want to hear?
Shoot, honestly.
Do you want to hear my favorite encounter with a mimic?
Oh yes.
The mimic was the entire bar. Like people, like the barkeep and everything had no idea. I figured it out, and I managed to seduce this mimic.
What?
And in seducing this mimic, he led me to a horde of baby mimics, and they all listened to me.
Oh my god.
I basically became the queen of the mimics.
Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute.
It was fucking beautiful.
All right. Well, I think that was a pretty successful episode 22. So I'm going to take this one last shot here, and I think we're going to send us on out of here. So this one's to the viewers. Thank you guys so much for coming to watch with us and listening and all that good stuff. Go check out the YouTubes, the Spotifys, the TikToks, all that good shit over on Twitch, over on Sundays. We're having fun.
Join the Discord.
Join the Discord. It's in the description of our TikTok or of our YouTubes and of our Spotifys. It's all there. Go ask us questions.
Hey, you can send us, questions.
Send us your questions. But until then, have a fantastic week, everybody. Jesus Christ. Have a fantastic week, everybody.
Hey.
I hope you all have a great time, and we'll see you next Sunday. Here's to you guys. Tink.
Also worth as well, because it's the closest episode we've got to 420.
Yep.
Well,
True.
Fuck yeah.
Wait,
also
who's going
weed.
to say it today?
I don't know. Who's up?
roll for it.
Dibs.
Whoever rolls the highest has to
No.
say it. Whoever rolls the highest has to say it.
Oh god.
Got a
Straight
5.
roll.
7.
15.
9.
8.
I get to say it. Alright, guys. Join us on Discord. Ask us all the questions. We love you. We miss you. We will see you next time. Bye!
What is a ray of light without the shadow it creates? What is the darkness without desire for flame? What is a warrior without a worthy foe? What would you like to do? It's time to roll. When the lines between good and evil are blurred, no one knows if there is dune or paler came first. An ancient struggle throughout all time to push against the other keeps both upright. Is the coming chaos worth the peace? Is it all just a puzzle to complete? A one-sided coin can't exist, isn't real, and thus goes the tales of Ethyl. Thus goes the tales of Ethyl.